Well, hello everyone. Yes, we are back. The Cocktail Lounge, Trust the Profits. Great to have everybody join us on the Eve take two of the King's Plate at Woodbine. As for anyone who knows, on Saturday I was actually up there. We had about 8 inches of rain in 4 hours, thus canceling the card. But no horses or jockeys were hurt, which is the most important thing. But we're right back at it tomorrow on Friday. 12 race cards should be wonderful. But tonight we're going to win some money so you can have some extra betting money for tomorrow and for the Travers on Saturday. I'm joined by my man Riders Up Tim. How are you, buddy?
Doing wonderful, ready for a great couple of days of racing. So you follow that up. So the King's Plate goes to Friday, and you follow that up with an incredible card at Saratoga on Saturday for the Travers.
Right. And today, look at this. Right off the bat, we get the formula joining us, which is awesome. How are you, buddy?
I am doing great. Always love being here. I always think about the lounge as being this place where in handicapping, in horse racing, you never stop learning. And I always learn from you guys when I come here, right? We all have our own angles, our own little sticks,
Yep.
our own little pieces of information that we bring, because I am always reminded how many angles there are in this sport. And I just love being around you guys because I always learn something different every time. You come to the lounge and you learn something different.
Hey, and we love having you.
Love being here.
So we already got Bobby D. We got Uncle Sully in the house. Looking forward to have everybody join us. And we're up now to race number, let's see here. We're up to race number 4. Is our friends Alyssa and Jeff getting ready to give their predictions here. And let's read the conditions here. Race 4, 6.5 furlongs. We are not running on the turf today because they wanted to, out of precaution, just to give it one more day to be as pristine as possible for the plate tomorrow. They just have taken off the turf. But obviously, as you can see by the field, no one was fooled. So we all stayed in. So we have a field of 10 still here.
And so that means that they're going to the artificial surface, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Correct. For this one, we do have a race later on in race 6, which is scheduled for the inner that stays on.
Yes.
Interesting. Got it. Good to know. Good to know.
Yep. And the conditions, I'll read them. 6.5 furlongs per 61,000, optional 40K done with 2 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds, which have never won 2 races or Ontario sire allowance. So
right up my alley.
Yep. There we go. Yep.
Non-winners
This is your wheelhouse.
This is Tim's wheelhouse. So it's only fitting he has race 1 because it's his wheelhouse.
I do want to give a shout out to Tim here because I did make additions to my template here, at least on the inside, so I can see things like when Tim calls out that, hey, this horse had a bigger maiden than the other horses. I now see things like that in my own template. So I'm curious to see if Tim comes up with some angle, if I'm seeing that in my worksheet as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious as well. It's funny because I brought that up a couple of times, and now there are a couple of the folks in the chat, and I was trying to remember who it was, but somebody was telling me that they're using that on a regular now, and they've hit a couple with it. So
nice.
Yep. Oh, me too. Oh, it's a wonderful angle. Really is. Open my eyes.
And in a race like this, it totally makes sense.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's not just like, oh, I got this little trickery here. It makes common sense.
Right.
Yeah. We got Rodney joining us. Love it. Great to see you, Rodney. So, yeah. So, Tim, you will be your race. So we will go first. Formula, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
Let's see. So I just finished my my handicapping business here, at least for this race.
Yep.
So I can walk my way through this. We're on race 4, correct?
Yep. Yes, we are. Yep.
And we are still at 6.5 furlongs, correct?
Yes.
All right. Just making sure. So the top horse, I've got like 2 or 3 horses here, I think, that stick out to me. The first one is going to be the one at 3-1. In terms of best class win, I've got this as the top horse. I had a 111,000 win. I don't know when it was, but that was the win that this horse had out of the last 7 races. Let's see what else sticks out to me about this horse. I didn't have it as having the best speed figures overall. I've got another horse coming up that had that. It does come from further back, but in terms of being able to close, which I do have a little bit of concern about here at only 6.5 furlongs, I do have it having really strong closing numbers here. The 4-horse Twisted Romance. Jockey here is Eswin Flores and Martin Drexler. Always good to see that that's the trainer on a horse that you pick. And then my next horse here should be no surprise, going down 4-1 on the 6-horse Never Silent. Also have a pretty strong win on this horse here. In terms of class, not as high as the 1, but still very strong. I have this one as having the best speed figures and also being pretty close to the pace. And that's always a good thing to see as well, especially in a short race like this. Horses sticking closer to the pace and not fading much. In terms of horses sticking closer to the pace, this is one I have with the least amount of fade. And then I'll give you a price here too. So not really a huge price, but the 9 at 6-1. I don't even know how to say that. Encourage Each Other. Yeah.
Encourage Each Other. Yep.
Yeah. It's a spell check name. Yeah. Encourage Each Other I have as the best combination of sire, trainer, and jockey. The sire being Street Sense, which I've got a 9+ rating on. Kevin Attard and Rafael Hernandez is a really strong combination. This horse sits anywhere from 2 to 3 lengths off the pace. Hasn't shown a really strong close, but has had some pretty strong races here and there. Overall, on average, hasn't been a really strong close. And if we were talking about slop, this would be the horse that I would give you for my slop rankings.
Excellent.
There you go. Those are my top 3. I can give you a 4th one if it comes down to it.
Wonderful. There you go. Now, you probably didn't notice, by the way, which is interesting. The 9 is owned by Mike Rapoli.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Yes, wow. In St. Elias Stables. Yeah, exactly. So in terms of Travers and the weekend fame, here is Mike Rapoli here. Okay, in this race, Zach, as you can see, I'm wearing my Catherine Day Phillips hat tonight in honor of King's Plate night. I really, and I'm not being biased, I'm actually thinking with my head, not my heart. Never Silent, to me, is the horse to beat in this race. I love him for 3 reasons. If you watch the replay, Rafi really should have won this race last time on this horse, and ran too good, broke out, and really should have won. Really liked the poly track. First time Pietro. Catherine has never ridden Pietro before, which I think is a huge advantage, especially if it gets out on the lead. And there's Hannah and Angel there right now. But what do you call it? But I just think this horse with the first time Lasix, which she's good at, that's usually a good move. It hasn't been this year, but a lot of the first time moves, the first time Lasix she has given, they've been running against bettor. So against those real big races. So the 0-for-8, knowing Catherine, I'm throwing that completely out the window. A lot of her horses were long shots to begin with in that race, so I'm throwing that stat completely out. So I was the same way. I was 6, then 1, then 9.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, and look at this. We got Dan H. We got Alex. We got Matt Butler. Look at this. We got the whole crew tonight. Love it.
People are rolling in.
Yep, love it.
Yeah, and if I did give you a 4th horse, although those are really the top 3 that I have, the next horse I would give you, you're getting a price on this one, is Secret Load. I've got a bunch of 3rd and 4th place ratings on it, mainly due to the closing ability. Got some stretchability on this horse as well. That usually sits 2 to 3 tiers back. Don't know how that's going to come into play here at 6.5, but if things do get a little hot, we've got a bunch of horses that could be pushing the pace here. Definitely setting the pace is going to be the 5, in my opinion, but you might also have some action from the 2 and as mentioned, the 10 as well. So if there is a lot of pressure there, if they start to fade, then you might start to see the 1, the 8, the 9, even a bit of the 7 fall into play.
Tim, what was your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, so I put the best maiden win on the 6. And one thing that I weight when I do that is a win first out on the surface, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
some of these horses, their only win has been on the turf, and this was scheduled to be a turf race. So I weighted the fact that the fact that you win off first off the first time on the off the bench, and it's like, okay, that, and then the horse went directly to stakes races. I mean,
Yeah.
and really competed well, especially in the Catch a Glimpse. That was a good race where the horse did not break
It was
well
a
and was
fabulous
wide,
race, yeah.
and still got a nice third, and then came back in the Victoria Queen, and didn't do much there. But that's against so much better horses, and those two are on the turf, and I'm willing to throw them out. But if you look on the synthetic, this horse is a first and a second out of 2 races. So I mean, clearly the best resume out of non-winners of 2 in this race. I think the 6 is just a standout here, and all the things Sean mentioned as well. I noted first time Lasix getting Pietro a 5-pound weight break. I just think that this horse probably is a clear standout. I did like the 1 and the 9 that you guys mentioned. So I'm going to talk about one other horse, and Formula did just mention this horse, but I rate this as a really another really good win. This horse won second time out at this distance on the surface at this track, and that is the 5 horse. I love the 5 in this race.
Yeah. Wow.
I think if you look at the 5, on the synthetic, 4 out of 8 in the money. I mean, for non-winners of 2, not too bad. And the speed figures, they basically stack up pretty well against everybody else in here. So it was interesting that they were actually going to take this horse to the turf for the first time, because to me, I mean, this horse has been running against horses at this level and doing fairly well and hitting the board on a regular basis. So I think the 5 gets a piece here. And right now we're getting a really good price on the 5. So
I only mentioned the 5 purely because I thought this would be the pace setter, maybe the 2, but yeah, that was not one that I was high on. I see the angle though. I mean, this horse, like you said, it's win play show rate is pretty phenomenal compared to the rest of the group here. So 5 out of 8. Interesting. Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I agree with you about being out front, and I'm not sure that this horse can win. I don't think the horse can win. I think the 6 is a clear standout, but I can hang around for a piece. I think he can hang around.
Yeah, no doubt. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look here and see how we're doing, but getting the 1 at 5 to 1, that feels really strong for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So that's our thoughts in the comments section. What do you guys have? I've seen a couple people post a few things. Bobby D is getting ready early here.
He's got a shoddy exacta.
Yeah.
6'9" with 6'9", 110.
Haven't heard from Shoddy in a while.
Bobby D's got a win on the 5. Dan 6 also with a weight break. Yep. Absolutely.
Wait. I don't think Bobby D wrote that right, because Bobby D has, as you said, the shoddy exacta, but then turns around and says a win on the 5.
Yeah, sometimes he backs himself up with a bomb.
Okay, backs himself up with a bomb. I'm just making sure he didn't mean 6 in this type.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
And then, Rick Johnson is wondering, why are performance-enhancing drugs allowed? Well, you need 4 hours for that one, Rick.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm the doctor to talk about that.
Yeah, but
you probably need someone who can tell you whether these are good for recovery and good for health.
It's more
being detrimental.
I can say with Lasix, I'll just simply say this: it's not a enhancing thing. It's more of that prevents the horse from bleeding, which is more important. It really does not step a horse up, like in terms of performance. It prevents the horse from bleeding. So, but that's always been an issue for many years and will continue to be so. But I respect that question, Rick. Thank you.
What's up, Keith?
Keith is in the house. Colin's in the house.
Alex, it's a little early. I know it's the lounge, but it's a little early.
Exactly.
It requires no thought, really. I mean, it's right there on the nose.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Colin says, "What's up?"
The
what's
you
up?
know, the author, you know, the man who's being featured on podcasts throughout the country.
Yes.
Yeah, Colin Sheen rubbing shoulders.
He is. He's the big man this weekend.
Hobnobbing.
Look at that. Love it.
The hobnobbiest of them. All right. Got to figure out my space here. Got to figure out. I'm going to go to my fridge, maybe get myself a beverage. While
There
I'm
you
doing
go.
that, drop in your picks and drop your beverage of choice in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know
By
what
all
you're
means.
doing. Exactly. Yep. Gonna take this off just for 1 second here.
Sure.
But yeah. So this is exactly so. Tim, you still have 3 minutes, plenty of time.
Sean, I think.
What do we got, my man?
Sean, we kind of normally wade into the waters a little bit. We're going to take a swing early.
I love it.
We're going to take a little swing. It's a little swing, you know, $12 swing. We've got a little bankroll. We've only got 5 races. So I'm going to take a $12 swing. I'm going to do a trifecta key. We're not a key box. We're keying the 6 on top with the 159.
Okay. Love it. Love it.
Going with the 5.
I'm throwing that 5 in there. I got a feeling.
Right. Got some comment section love on the 5.
Alex is drinking tequila. I got the usual sparkling strawberry watermelon sparkling ice. A little different flavor tonight.
I have my usual starter, the Founder's Porter. So
excellent.
Nice.
Let us know what you're drinking tonight here.
I think El Hombre is going to be up in Founder's Land pretty soon here. He is.
Oh, is that right?
He's
He's
in
heading up to
Michigan.
Michigan?
Oh, is he really? Huh.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So maybe he's joining us from the car. We'll see. Maybe he'll join us in the comment section. El Hombre, if you do, let us know you're out there.
Yeah.
Let us know the drive's going.
The people want to know.
absolutely.
Your fans need to hear from you.
Right. We might have another
Cocktail
guest
lounge.
later.
The Cocktail Lounge, and they're showing up a taste worth more.
Yeah. And Matt Butler, beer, always beer. Love it.
And so one more time. So we're not doing a key box here. We are keying the 1 on
The
top.
6.
You love the 1 on top.
The
Sorry, the
6,
6 on top.
Yep.
Yes.
Got to correct myself because I think it's the 1, but you think it's the 6. Yes. So the 6 has to be on top, and then the 2 below 159.
Yep.
Yes.
And we're sending it. Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's get that 6 on top.
Catherine has been very high on this horse since day 1.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And gave him her the proper time to kind of come around and get her going with the rest of the year in mind, you know. So
yeah.
So
And
hopefully,
Pietro's already got 1 win tonight. He won the first.
Yep. So, and just came in a nice second there. You know.
This looks familiar.
Yeah.
Looks like Alex is sending a similar bet here.
Alex and I were just like right together on all our picks last week and didn't do too bad.
Under double figure odds,
That's a
though,
good
are
sign.
3
We've seen
Mirror
Alex
Machine
have some
and 7
success.
Peggy.
Yep. That's good. Yeah. No, they did great together last week. They were doing well. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did really well. I was watching it. I watched some of it back that I missed, and really, really good stuff.
There is one of the most underrated
Plays
jockeys
Wildfire
right there,
in.
Juan
They come
Crawford.
forward for a start.
You know, he will just give you an honest ride every single time.
Twisted
Well,
Romance
let him
has
get home second
Gate
with this
1.
23-1 shot.
Love it.
his field forming a line, and
That would be
Gate
fantastic.
2 is Friends for Life.
No one in the comments section is on top of my 8 horse here. I'm a little surprised by that. But
Next
Todd's got
along, Mirror
Wildfire for
Machine.
the show. Good luck, Todd.
Kevin Nichols riding Shameless Affair.
But that's okay. We can fade the 8. We faded him. I shouldn't talk up the 8 anymore.
No.
If he does well, I will just
Never
silently.
Silent will come alongside Wildfire, who went in earlier.
Go right into the
Never
car
Silent
very
is just
slowly.
a 5th lifetime start. And the second off the layoff. moving along and goes in. Peggy is next.
You know, one thing
Right
about
for
the 8
Emma
I
Jane
noted
as the
was
field takes
Pietro's
shape.
ridden that horse in all 4 starts, and all of a sudden he
Gate
gets off of
number
that
8
one to go
for
over
Secret
to the 6.
Load is
Oh,
out
Oh,
to
the 6
29
just
to
got
1 odds.
hammered.
Further across
Not a
is
shocker.
Encourage Each Other. That is
encourage each other.
the second last to load. Is the shorter in the betting is now at 3 to 1. As Never
St.
Silent
Elias Rapoli colors.
dips into 3 to 2. The last is Prima.
Holy
field
colors
is in
at
the gate.
Woodbine.
All in and luck. Start looks across. They're ready. On their way. Great start. And now at the rear early is Twisted Romance and dipping out a Shameless Affair. Away well Prima, Miramachi, and Handy Never Silent with Friends for Life coming for the lead on the inside of them. Also racing Handy, Encourage Each Other, and Wildfire. Twisted Romance plunging up the rails to mid-pack. Peggy's back third last, Shameless Affair second last, and last is Secret Load. And racing out with the early advantage is Friends for Life, and scoots away by a length and a half. Miramachi, Twisted Romance coming through on the inside with Wildfire to take second and third. In fifth place is Never Silent, who's travelled nicely. Coming up the inside is now also Encourage Each Other, getting into a snug spot. Prima White on the track is making ground. Behind them is Shameless Affair. Peggy is second last, and 4 lengths away last, Secret Load. Friends for Life by a length to Miramachi. Coming forward is Prima around the outside. On the rails, Twisted Romance pushed along is there. In the centre, Never Silent, called to make a move now. Wildfire's in the between runners as they corner. Friends for Life, Miramachi turn together. Tackled by on the inside. Encourage Each Other down the outer. Prima.
Come on, girl.
Is now
Come on,
Never
girl.
Silent. It's Friends for Life and Prima. And from the back, Secret Loaders finishing on. Encourage Each Other, the insider, grinding finish. Encourage Each Other coming for the lead. Encourage Each Other on the inside.
Nothing at all.
Encourage Each Other goes on to win by 3/4. Maybe a length. Friends for Life second. Secret Load wide out in third. Never Silent was fourth.
My 1 didn't show.
Good job by Dan H. Dan had the 9.
118.90.
9 over the 167.
Celebrate.
Good job, Dan.
Oh, but didn't have the 2 in there. Oh, he had the win place though, so that's gonna
do the win place. Nice job though, Dan. Yep.
Got a win place.
Wow, just didn't fire at all.
First quarter 23 and 2, the half a mile.
The 6 got
46
boxed
and
in.
3. 3
Had to
quarters.
make a weird
11 and
move.
2.
I did not.
0.19.
I did not expect.
Go ahead, Sean.
I did not expect Never Silent to be that far back. That was definitely a shock to me.
Third 8.
You know?
Secret Load and 4-6 Never Silent.
Thought he'd go right for the lead.
6, the unofficial order.
The whole thing from the start was really
Ooh, look at that. They all got creamed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Never Silent, usually much closer to the pace than that. I think it didn't get a good position.
But if you looked at the start, that may explain it. The 3 came in and just hit the 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, the 4, I saw the 4 go backwards, but until that hit on right there, I didn't really notice that the 4 kind of took out the 5 and 6 as well.
Yeah, it took them completely out. That's probably why the bad start.
I was wondering why the 5 wasn't up there, because that kind of surprised me.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the 5 took the worst of it with that hit. So I would throw that race for the 5. If anyone was Todd, I would throw that race completely out. That was not the 5's fault. He got creamed out of the start, and I'm sure Juan just kind of took him back and said, "We'll see you another day." You know?
Yeah.
He got creamed.
That's one to turn the page on.
The numbers again: 9, 2,
for sure.
8, 6, and the
turn the
time
page.
for the race 1:18.19.
Turn the page.
All right. Who else did well on that 9-2-8?
Yeah. I'd love to see the start again, because that was really,
very telling of what could happen towards the end.
That was really telling, yeah. And still got up for 4th. Okay, yeah. So, but that's 5 and 6 took the worst of it there. They really got creamed out of the gate.
Indeed.
And that's one thing I like about Pietro. Even when he's behind, he didn't panic. You know what I'm saying? He's only 19 years old, and he's just the patience and the mind he has. You know, most jockeys and would just send like ridiculously and ruin their horse. He just tried to sit and see what she could give. You know, rather than so. But anyone who has that 9, 2, 8, 6, nice job. Rapoli and St. Elias winning on pre-Travers weekend. This horse now 2 for 2 up here. This is going to be one to watch for sure. Dan had 10 to win in place and $3 exactas. Nice job. Well done. Well done. That 8, yeah, see, yeah, they made the try
again. So that is 2 on end.
Oh, he only hit the win in place. Okay, but still 10 to win in place, not bad at all.
Yeah,
3 wins.
Yeah, that's good value on that win place.
Yeah, take that off the.
Because there was no chalk at all, so that place.
No, exactly. So, well done. But that's okay. We'll get it right back.
We'll get it back.
Rafi riding for Kevin Attard. Kevin Attard could have a huge weekend coming up. As one of the best turf horses in the country in Moira.
Right.
The Queen's Plate winner. And just dominated at Colonial Downs. And for anyone, hey, look at that, 730, 480. Dan, not a bad combo there on your 10 to win in place. Whew. And anyone who had that try, good, wow, 371 for $1.
Yeah.
A super, 1279 for $1. Well done to anyone who had that.
Yeah, if you could predict that, more power to you.
Exactly. So we go to, so we're going to the next race. We turn the page, turn the page. As our good friend Bob Seeger says. And the 5th race is 6.5 furlongs, maiden 15,000. For maidens, fillies, 3 mares, 3-year-olds and up. And we'll give this race to you, Formula.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Got an interesting field here, for sure.
Yeah. I'm still catching up on some of my handicapping here, but
sure, no problem. Yeah,
you
go last.
Scratches.
Yeah, you go last, anyways. So
yeah.
So
I think I'm there.
Huh?
I think I'm done handicapping this one. No scratches, 11 horses.
No, exactly.
I like it. Big field.
One great thing you see about Woodbine, which is great. I'm going to take this off for a second here. Yeah. One great thing you see about Woodbine, the day before the plate, very few scratches.
Yeah.
Very few scratches. Everybody wants to run around the plate,
In general, Woodbine, I think, is better about that.
Yeah, no, they're very good. But I'm saying that, this day especially, they're,
the anti-Saratoga.
So, so let me get this here.
Hey, I got a shout out from Dan there. Thank you, Dan.
Good job, Dan.
Someone does that.
Yep, and here we go. So we got. Let me bring this up here, my friends.
And how about this? 23 watching, only 3 likes. We got like 49 watching.
Yeah, what's going on with
that? Go ahead and hit that like button for us.
We're up to 9, but we're still short. We got 50 watching now.
Right,
so
come on now.
On YouTube, but come on. Click on, if you're on YouTube, click on over there. Click that like button.
Yep.
While you're there, check out Doubly Down. Check out Formula's Full Field Rundown. Check out all the good stuff going on at Trust the Profits.
And I might try to do a cap in the card for the Saturday races. I
there you go.
Putting together the slides for it. I'll see if I can get to it either tonight or most likely early tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And drop it. If the people want it. If people don't, that's fine too.
It's funny you mentioned that because I really wanted to do this exact same thing this week, but my week at school has just been crazy. So I was actually thinking this morning, I was like, I still think if I just did the grade 1s, the 5 grade 1s, I could probably still do that. And it's just like, it's been crazy for me.
14 races is a lot.
It is
a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a card though.
It is. It is. And some of those races you look at, the Forgo,
The HL and Jerkins, my
the
God.
Jerkins, yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't make my mind up on that race. I mean, I have an idea of where I'm going with it, and I've got a longest shot that I kind of like, but man, you look at that field, it's hard to start counting horses out and saying this horse is
Yeah,
not gonna
no.
make it.
My friend said that he said what do you call it? He has a couple of horses he likes. He said I may be forced to use all in the Jerkins. He said it's that tough a race. He said I could see legitimately 6-7 horses winning that race if they run their best race.
I pulled the past performances pretty early on this one, and I started going down the page on a couple of the races, and I'm like, oh, I really like this horse. Oh, I like this horse. Oh, I like damn it, I like all of them.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Forgo now, and I could go so many different ways on that too. Yeah. So Gun Pilot, I think, is my number one. Baby Yoda, I would say, is probably my value play there. Yeah. But then you're also looking at Mulligan, who's under 2-1. Cagliostro, which I always have a problem pronouncing. Run Classic at 5-1. There's some good horses you're going to be counting out.
I love that horse in that race formula.
Which one?
Cagliostro.
Yeah. That's going to be your pace setter most likely too. Yeah. But he's going to get challenged from Mulligan.
Yeah, so, it's going to be a fascinating race,
It will be. There's a bunch of horses that like to sit just off the pace. There's a few that have some closing ability. Run Classic at 5-1, really strong closer. So if this one gets hot, even at 7 furlongs, curious to see if he can make a move. I do kind of like Gun Pilot though.
Yeah, I think Twisted Ride is going to want a piece of that lead.
Really?
I just pulled up my PPs, and that's the way I looked at it.
Huh. I don't see it. But hey, things happen, right? Mulligan definitely wants a piece of that lead.
Yes, absolutely.
Mulligan will be challenging Cagliostro. That's my prediction. And am I saying it wrong? Is there a more Italian way to say it? or Spanish? I don't know. Maybe it's a Spanish pronunciation.
It's Italian for sure, but
it's Italian.
And yet
for sure.
there is a more I'm sure there's a more Italian way. I just can't help you with it.
Yeah. Who's out there that can? Yes. Okay, so we got 17 minutes. You guys are figuring out what you want to say. Let me throw this out there. So let's scoot ahead to race. Oh, let me do this. Yeah. We're saying we got trouble with the HA Jerkins. I mean, world record, Speakeasy, domestic product, Vetriano, Prince of Monaco, and Timberlake next to Otto the Conqueror and Bookham Dano. Reynolds Channel, Jefferson Street, Little Knee, is that right?
Yeah.
Anyway, 11 of those horses. I want to know from the comment section who you guys like. I've got like my favorites that I've been throwing around, and then I got my stretch. But I'm curious who you guys like, because this one's going to get stretched. The favorite, Prince of Monaco, is 4-1. Oh, sorry, Bookham Dano is 7-2. Sorry.
Yeah, that's who I like. Bookham Dano.
I like Bookham Dano. I don't like him in this race, though.
Yeah. Have they said for sure that they're going there? Because they were talking about going to Chucktown.
Yeah, right.
He's entered in both, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll leave that open. Anyone out there in the comment section, if you've got a comment on the Jerkins, let us know. And we might share our comments with you as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's the way I look at that race, in my opinion. If Bookham Dano runs that race, I think he wins.
Yeah, me too.
I just think he wins that race.
Yeah.
If he's out of the race, it changes the whole complexion of the race.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a tougher field than he could get the same money and, the same ticket to Breeders' Cup in Chucktown, where he's entered.
Yeah. And by the way, happy retirement today to Pretty Mischievous, who retired today.
Oh, really?
Yep. Brendan Walsh's girl.
Was Pretty Mischievous entered into one of these races?
No, she retired.
I'm thinking of Mischievous 1. There's a Mischievous out there that 7. Mischievous Angel. That's what I was looking at.
Yes, Mischievous Angel. Yes. Yeah, she is still in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Pretty Mischievous. Outstanding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Rodney says he thinks that Jerkins is a 2-horse race, Prince of Monaco and Timberlake, class
Yeah.
of the field. Bookham
Yeah.
Daniel got very lucky that Prince of Monaco had a terrible start. Okay. Timberlake, I until he gets back up to his level of, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I think he could, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but that last race he was in, he was right there at the distance.
He was,
and now because we were all shocked that Timberlake was in there because they said Timberlake was going to cut back, and now they cut back. So, going longer first off the bench and then cutting back, I kind of like that angle.
Yeah, I like it. How about Prince of Monaco? I'm so used to seeing a Baffert horse and thinking, okay, he's going to want the lead. He's going to take the lead. But then Prince of Monaco comes along, you're like, he's going to take the lead, and you look at his past performances, and you're like, no, this is a closer. This is a Baffert closer. It seems so weird to look at.
It does.
We got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
That Bookham Daniel has been entered in both races, but his connections have kept him at Saratoga, and he will be running at Saratoga.
That's Bookham Dano?
Yep. He will not be traveling. He is staying home.
That is going to be one hell of a race.
Holy cow. That definitely speaks volumes that they think they have a loaded machine.
I agree.
I think if they went to Charlestown, I would think they have a little bit of a worry that, you know what I'm saying, with that field. I think the fact that they stay there and they're very confident in it speaks high volumes that they think they just have one hell of a horse. And after that performance last time, I know, and I agree with Rodney for sure that Prince of Monaco didn't have a good beginning, but just the eye test of how he was finishing, Bookham Daniel just finished with a lot of energy,
Yeah.
So we're 12 minutes to go here in the 5th race here at Woodbine. We got the 3-year-old maidens trying to break the schneid here.
Sean, what did you have here?
Okay.
Yeah, let's get started.
I went with an upset here. I went with the 4 Save the Date. Patrick Dixon and my boy Jose Luis Campos. This Colebrook Farms, Patrick, this horse is interesting. Encourage each other, who ironically won the last race, right, for Rapoli, and this horse ran into him last time, and was off the rail, was no threat. But that was, look at Golden Boss, Encourage Each Other, River Psychology. Any of these horses in this race would be like 2 to 5, 1 to 5, right? And this horse ran a nice 4th, first time on the poly track, and did not disgrace himself on the turf. And now she's cutting back. I think, as I always say, she's in the right sandbox with the right friends. And I think at 14 to 1, this horse is being massively overlooked. So that was my number 1 pick. The second pick, I love the 9, Barbara Minchell. Again, this horse has been running against, now this is funny, Secret Load, who just came in third, was in there earlier, and African Safari. She's been running against very good horses. 2-Step Sally, who's a very good horse. So obviously this horse has got a real chance here.
Which horse is this?
The 9, Unheard.
9. Yeah.
Barbara Minchell and Emma Jane, always a solid combination together. And my third was, Sophie Vives jumping aboard, which gets the weight, which I think will make it even tougher. And then my third pick was Laughing Out Loud, Christopher Davis and Emma Jane on the debut at Woodbine.
Wow. Interesting.
Tim?
We're, Sean and I are normally like head to head, eye to eye, and we're like all over the place here. I don't know how the 3 doesn't win this race. I just think the 3 has been running against so much better. So you look at who this horse ran against at Fairgrounds last year, and there's some big names in those races. And yes, has been off for a while, but here's the thing: I get it. The horse been off for March, but look at those works. Consistent pattern. Bullet on the 27th, 47-4.
Yep.
You know, and then came back just on the 14th, just last week, and ran a 48-1. I think is ready to go. Gets Emma Jane up. I just think that this horse is probably sitting on a big race.
Wow.
And also Emma dropped off the 9 to get to the 3. You know.
Yes, and you know I was going to say that, but I faded the 9 a little bit here. I put the 9 third. But one of my comments was that Emma Jane took the 3 over the 9. You know, so I definitely, you know, Sophia gets up and everything, so I get it. But there's a couple of horses in here that I like at a price. So the first one I think is probably a little better positioned, and that's the 5 Silent Patsy. I like the 5 in here. I think these running lines are good. So 6.5 furlongs. If you look, this horse has kind of been all over the map at distance, but the last 2 times out has kind of stuck at this distance at this level. And is improving. Okay. So I like the fact that the horse is improving a little bit, and, you know, gets Hernandez up for the second time. He rode the horse first time out last time. And if you go back to the start of that race, all kinds of trouble. It was like pinball. Okay. So the horse was really interfered with, and I think it cost the horse a win. It's 7.5 links there, but it was all on the start. I mean, that horse was really taken out at the beginning and still came back to finish strong and finish a good second in that race. So I think the 5, who's currently sitting at 5-1. Another horse I like in here is the 10, Princess of Denmark.
Thank you, Tim.
And I just think that this horse, you know, fourth of the year, but I'm going to throw those last 2 out because the last 2 were on grass. So if you throw those grass races out and look at where this horse has been running, I think that getting rid of the grass races, which kind of muddies up the lines, puts this horse right with everybody else here.
Yep.
All right. Wow. This is interesting. You guys
a lot of horses for you, Formula.
Yeah. And you opened up my eyes to 2. So the way I was looking at this, I had the 5, the 9, and then I was leaning hard into the 10 as well. Those were my 3 preferable horses. So you guys opened up my eyes to the 3 and the 4. So what do I do with all this? I think I'd like to do.
That's the question.
That is the question. That is the question. And I did have a fairly good rating on the 4, and the 3 sort of works its way in a little bit, but wow. Okay. So I think I like the 5 the best. The 5 is my number 1 choice. I love the fact that we're getting a value on the 5.
I do too. I love the 5.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. So the 5 is where I would end up keying. If I fall in line here with what I was going to go with, the 9 and the 10, and then I got to figure out between the 3 and the 4, you guys both really like the 3. Can I squeeze in the 4? Does it make sense to squeeze in the 4?
Now remember, up there they have 20-cent and 50-cent varieties. Just saying.
I know. I could do some calculations on this, and we can figure out what to doozy. Let's see here. So if I did that, we did say ourselves a 20 center, and we do a trifecta, and we say it's a key, and we go like 5, 4, 3, 9, and 10. We're looking at 720 bear price. We go up to 40 cents. We're looking at 1440. So let's go ahead and lock that in. I think I know what I'm going to do here, and it's crazy sauce, but we are going to.
I like it
in the
though.
bet.
Yeah, I like it.
Hit the button. We're going to try box. We are keying the 5 with 9, 10, 3, and 4 at 40 cents.
Yep.
For a total of
Love it.
Decisions, and we love to send it. But we're going to get value on this. If we hit this, we're going to get some tremendous value.
Yeah. If this horse does win, 5-1's tremendous. Because I even said, I actually know Tino Attard, right, very well.
Yeah.
And he said, this is the horse. He said, this horse always loves to run. Can I get him to win? He's always there. He's always coming, which is, you know.
Yeah, and so if I go through what I liked about each of these, the 5, it's got the best closing at Woodbine. I don't get too discouraged if they sit a couple tiers back, and this horse consistently sits a couple tiers back, which is a good win area for a lot of these horses.
Yeah.
8 races, the most of the field. Kevin Attard, I believe, is the trainer on this one, right?
Yes,
no, Tino.
absolutely. Yeah.
Tino Attard, yeah. And Rafael Hernandez.
That's Tino. Tino, yeah. Tino's dad. Yeah.
Tino's his dad. And the 9 sits closer to the pace. Both of them have my top trainer jockey sire combinations here. Better speed figures on the 9, consistently sits closer to the pace. What I like about the 10 and the value we're getting from the 10, which is currently sitting at 13-1, morning line 15-1, Princess of Denmark. In terms of my rating, I've got like a flag for when their last race per my rating looks significantly better than the next horse. And this flag went off for this horse. And so sometimes that can be an indicator that they're going to come back and really blow the doors off. And hopefully that happens here. I think there's a few people in the comments section. Matt Butler has got 3 with 5 and 10. Todd, you've got 3 with 9 and 10. So a bunch of other people like the 10 here as well. So maybe they saw approximately what my formula was able to pull out of it.
And I like the 10 as well. That was one of the ones I threw in. So
yeah,
I'm feeling good about this race. So we're definitely going to see a 6, 7, 8 trifecta coming up here.
Yeah, like it.
Feeling pretty good so far.
Love it.
Comment section, you guys are doing good for me here. I'm catching up.
Love to see it. Love to see it. See it.
Indeed. All right. We're gonna get a winner here, I think.
I seem to be on the island here with my 4.
That's fine. I was on the island with the 8 last race, so
yes, nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with that. Just means you saw value others didn't.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Uncle Sully bringing some heat here.
We're good. No, he said you're not cursed because I don't have it. So
the Todd is the one who's bringing the curse in, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So we got.
I love that
Rafi
gets back on this one, Sean, and I just think that.
Yes. No. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a very big plus. Yep. And Rafi is very, very familiar with the Tard family, the entire Tard family.
Yeah. Going through a bunch of the picks here. A lot of people have a lot of the same horses we do, but of course we did.
Dan said he's got your 4 underneath.
Yeah. Good job, Dan. Hopefully he runs a big one here.
Getting some value there out of that.
Turn on the sound here. Here our buddy Robert Geller.
Our Sweet Esme is asked to come along.
Rick's got the 5 to win. Rick Alford.
Laughing out loud,
Rick
is
Johnson.
well supported, is on the move.
That's a big one. There seem to be 2 camps here. The camp of the 5 and the camp of the 3.
2. Micah Husbands from JMR, Sweet Esme.
Sweet Esme.
Now she has been placed in and getting back on board. Is Micah Husbands back in action here today? Came in
Micah Husbands back in action today, the nephew of Patrick.
Going in is Legally Charitable.
Yeah.
Followed along by Love.
23rd race.
Loud is the ride for Emma Jane Wilson. And Save the Day.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're back at Woodbine this week. Del Mar last week is not my thing.
Just behind the start, Silent
we gave it a shot.
Moves to gate 5. Bit of a wind tear tonight. And Rafael Hernandez, he won the earlier races 2 in a row, races 3 and 4. Just about ready is No Layups. Stormy Ocean has gone in. No Layups to gate number 7. And Madam Gwen will come along to gate 8. And the favorite is still at a short price, Unheard 3-2, but also 5-2. Laughing Out Loud is back, has a clear second favorite. They're just about ready with Madam Gwen. Blinkers are off. Unheard for Sofia Vives moves along. Chestnut by Street Boss. Street Boss siring. The favorite here is Settled. Unheard. Princess of Denmark goes in. I Am Pyrite the outside. The field about to go. Set to run. Off they race in trouble at the back for Stormy Ocean. A big beginning. I Am Pyrite.
Got out well.
Nicely. No Layups. Princess of Denmark and racing handy is Unheard. Coming through near the inside. JMR Sweet Esme to make a line of almost. Well, there's 4 in a row. Was going to be 5. Takes the drop. A nice position. Silent Patsy, Madam Gwen behind them. And then Legally Charitable towards the back. Save the Date. Laughing Out Loud. And last, Stormy Ocean. With the early lead, it's No Layups on the inside as they settled into stride. No Layups at the half mile by 3/4 in second placing Unheard. 2 lengths away, Princess of Denmark. On the inside, JMR Sweet Esme from I Am Pyrite, Silent Patsy, Madam Gwen, Legally Charitable on the inside. 3 wide goes Save the Date. Laughing Out Loud, second last.
Let
Last
Sophia
Stormy
get
Ocean.
away up there.
Top 2 well clear as Unheard is now breathing down the neck of. On the inside, No Layups. They're 4 or 5 to Princess of Denmark. Finishing on is Madam Gwen into 4th spot with I Am Pyrite.
That's 7 to fade.
And Unheard trying to get on by.
Yep.
No Layups and Unheard. Unheard on the outside narrowly from No Layups. They're 5 in front of I Am Pyrite. And then Silent Patsy coming on. Unheard in front.
Oh, wow.
I Am
Where did that
Pyrite
horse come
coming up
from?
the
The
inside
11.
behind No Layups. Is
That's
a
gonna
threat.
break
I Am
us.
Pyrite. Iron
Our 5
Pyrite
is
up
getting
the
up there.
inside. That's where you win the races here on the
Wow.
rail. Iron Pyrite
11.
goes on to win by 2 lengths.
Oh, man.
Unheard
4
or
was
Silent
loaded,
Patsy,
too.
who came thundering
Oh.
at the wire.
The 11
Behind
broke.
them, a weakening is No
Although
Layups.
I don't think we had
and
enough
also
other
Save
horses
the
passing
Date.
the 7.
11.
A very nice win.
That's a
And
cool.
the
Forgot to
time is
mention that 7 was going to
1:18.97.
set the pace. That was in my numbers.
Yeah. Takes the
That-
blinkers off.
Ainsley, Sean.
Yeah. He's the nicest kid. He's so small. It's amazing when you meet him, and you know. But what a rider! He's got a great form.
First quarter in 23, a half a mile, 46.
You can see why when you see him ride live, you can see why he's good. He's small, but I'm saying, but just his form is unbelievable. You can see why he wins
A
races.
photo for place.
The rail is the place to be today. Wow.
How did that 11 pull it off? Is there something in the numbers there? No, not really. Not for me, at least. Golden Sense.
Yeah, no, this kid, when you look at Woodbine right now, right? Pietro, Abley, Gaskin, and Sophie. Just it's 4 young kids, all talented riders, you know? They can all win races, which is really helping them out.
Second place, 2-9 Unheard, hanging on over 5.
11, 9, 5, 7.
No layups, 11,
Oh.
9, 5, 7 unofficial.
Watch
Our
my
5 was
4.
there in the try. We just didn't get the others home.
Yeah. Watch my 4 next time. She was really closing with energy late. She got blocked in the back, but she was really coming.
To answer Uncle Sully, we didn't.
We needed 9-11 instead of 9-10 in our bet there.
Yeah, Zach. And the 5, once again, it gets right in there, coming.
Yeah.
Those are the horses you love to own, you know, because they'll just come running every single time.
And 8-1 on the 5. It was drawn 9-2 when I last looked, but then it went
Yeah.
off at 8-5.
He's well known on the grounds now as like Tino's like they call him the equine ATM horse because he's just going to be like every time he gets a check, he just doesn't seem to want to win yet. but he's always there.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We'll get it back.
Oh yeah.
All we need is one, and boom, we're right back where we were. We move on to the 6th race.
Turning the page.
Yeah. Now remember, the 6th race is on the turf. This is because it's the inner turf, and that is fine now. That drains really easily.
Let's see what we got here.
Razor Abley, another win.
Whew, did not
Very
see
nice
that one.
win by Iron Pyrax.
This has really become, I can tell you right now, even having been up there, this is a really tough jockey colony. They're all capable of winning,
Yeah, even, right?
Yeah, they're very talented. Yes, this is a much improved jockey colony, and the veterans are really being pushed by the kids, which is making it that much better. There's Krista Cole, very excited, rightfully so. Good job,
This is
Krista.
interesting. Huh.
10-1 over 4-5 over 8-1 over 29-1. This will still pay nice. Yep,
Yeah.
Rick. Yep. You just go on to the next one. You just turn the page.
I wonder what that trifecta. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
One, it was 129.
129. Yep.
So we get less than half of that if we would have won. So we get about 50 if we would have won. A little
Yeah.
more than that.
Oh,
40%. Yeah.
yeah. So we move on to the 6th race, a mile on the inner turf, claiming 25,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races.
There we go.
There we go, Tim.
The
This is
Tim
my
special.
race, but we gotta listen carefully to Tim. I think Tim and I will get more on the same page in this race.
I'm curious to see where you guys go, because this one, to me, there's one horse that I think my formula digs into, and then it spreads a bit, and there is a lot of pace presence here.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Hmm.
curious to see how that plays out. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So I'm also curious to hear, since they wrapped up at Woodbine today, how everyone did there. Was anyone playing significantly not at Woodbine, at Saratoga?
So, yeah.
Was anyone playing at Saratoga today? How did you do? Hit us up in the comments if you did well. I'm still catching up to see how well my picks did.
And 9-11. Oh, 9-11. Oh, Todd had 9-11 5 straight for a sawbuck. Oh, that's a bad beat.
That is a gut punch
is
right there.
a bad beat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks. Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got one scratch in here. We got the 5.
Oh, we are scratching a horse. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You're
letting me
the
know
5,
that.
Kamikaze Omagi, who really did not figure that much
Did
in
not
this
figure for
race.
me as well.
Anyways,
Probably the last horse on my list. Maybe second, but
yeah, exactly. So
we're down to 9.
yeah. Yeah, and who did you like here, Formula? Or are you still
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, I can go through it real quickly here. So my top horse here is the 9. Looks
Okay.
lucky to me. So in
Mhm.
terms of, so I talk about trainer jockey and sire combination, doing scores on each of the 3 and adding them up. You've got Emma. You've got Looking at Lucky, who grades out pretty well for me, and Theranos, the trainer. The combo of those 3 is good. I like where this horse sits on the pace, just off the pace, pretty close, and doesn't lose a whole lot down the stretch either. Right? That's the fear. If you're a pace setter, or if you're sitting too close to the pace, you start to lose it heading down the stretch. 5 for 5 in terms of in the money percentage, which is also solid, and some of the best speed figures for the park as well as at this race length. So for me, the 9 horse looks to be the best here at 4-1. I think that's a bargain too. The next horse I'm going to throw at you here, so it gets tricky for me here. So there's 3 horses I see that are going to be battling for the pace. The 10, the 1, who's currently the favorite, which I'm a little bit surprised by, but I guess I shouldn't be too surprised by, and then the 3.
Okay.
So the 3 is where I was going to go to next.
Okay. Kitsa.
In terms of like value, the last race coming out was a strong race for this horse, dropping in class just a little bit, or at least comparatively to the rest of the herd here.
Yeah.
I like the 3 just based off of that. Again, trainer jockey combo is pretty good for this horse too. Not as close as the 9, but not too far off either. And then I did have the 1 coming in after that, which pains me because I look at the pace here and I'm worried that these 3 horses are going to burn themselves out, and I've got 2 of them in my top 3.
Okay.
But yeah, if something happens with that 3, you're currently getting 32-1 on the 3 right now. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if you threw them away just purely based off the pace, but maybe if they get far enough. 8 furlongs on turf though.
No.
Oof, it's going to be difficult to maintain that. If you're looking for a closer, I think the best closer here, although I don't have it rated as a high closer, not as good as you'd like to see, but I would look at the 7 at 29-1, Poetic Amy.
Yeah. Patrick Dixon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that if you're going out on a limb saying, okay, I'm looking for a horse that's going to take advantage of the pace breaking down at that last furlong, then that would probably be a horse that I look at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, 9, 3, and 1.
All right. Tim?
So when I looked at every horse's win, you know, in a grass race here, I'm looking at horses who broke their maiden on the grass and had a really good showing, and I kept coming back to the 4. I rated the overall best maiden win as the 8 Super Cup. So
okay,
and I like the 8. I like the 8 underneath a lot here. So the 8 does have a couple of races on the turf, hasn't done much, but they've been at 6 furlongs. And if you look even at the synthetic races for the 8, I think this horse wants more distance. So I think the horse is going to like this stretch out to the mile on the turf. So I do have the 8 as an underneath play, but I've got the 4 on top, and actually I've got the 4 on top by quite a bit. The horse that I had in between the 8 and the 4 was actually I went outside to the 10 horse, and this is a horse. Totally what's that?
We're totally different.
Yes, again. But so this is another one who, you know, early on, was maiden special weight, got a good win on the turf at 6 furlongs, but has been racing longer on the turf, and as of late, if you look on the turf, has been doing really well, and on the inner turf. Now those last couple, Abley was up, so did get the 5-pound weight break, but has Gaskin and still getting the same thing. So hasn't had a good night so far tonight. So I'm a little concerned about that. One thing I will mention is I faded the 7 a lot. I looked at this horse, and I just couldn't like the horse at all. The maiden win was sprinting on the synthetic. I think the grass races have been bad, and I don't think that a mile is what this horse wants. The mile in a 16th race was the horse's worst race. So I don't look for much out of that one. I did have one more that I like here, and that was the one. And I think Formula talked about the one a little bit. And so, but
Yeah.
I like it more as an underneath play, and especially at 2-1. I think that's a huge underlay, and I'm not interested at all. Coming here to Woodbine for the first time, the races at Gulfstream, Sean knows this well. They're different tracks and completely different. So what looks good there isn't necessarily great here, although the horse does have a couple of good works over the track. That last one in particular on the 16th of August, a 47-3 workout, 4 furlongs. But again, that's a synthetic. We're on the grass, so wide open. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I'm big time. There's the TMG hat there on there. My boy Tony Gallardo, who's off to a very solid start this year. He doesn't have a lot of horses, but man, when he brings them out to the races, he's picking the right spots for them. And I love this horse. I think last time versus Cozy Curl and Kitten and Nikita's Gem, who are both very good horses there. He was tracking the leader, and he just got kind of caught, and he tried, and then he faded at the end because the move he made was wrong. But I think this horse should be right there. I think he's going to sit off this group. I don't think he's going to be right on it, and I think Fraser's already got the one win there in the last race, and I think he's going to be very tough in this group. The one horse is interesting. That was my second pick. I mean, obviously, we all see he ran at Keeneland and Kentucky Downs. I mean, even versus at Gulfstream. Very interesting. Jim Ensign has just been on absolute fire. 8, 3, and 6 out of 20 starts. So the man is basically putting all his horses in the right spot. And again, this is race 6, and who's showing up? Saheen. We haven't seen Saheen almost all night, and then he shows up for this one horse. It's not like, well, often when I say a Turfway, if you haven't shown up all night, you're going to be, cold and all that stuff. It's warm. It's beautiful. You don't have to be warmed up like that. So the fact that Saheen shows up, I think, is huge. And then my third pick was indeed the 9. Looks lucky to me. Definite contender. William Theranos and Emma Jane, always a huge combination together. They're like 22%. They always win races together. So I didn't really try to invent the wheel in this race. I was just 419. But I think any of them could win. Very interesting race, though.
Yeah, no, I've got those 3 in my 4, and the only thing I added in is I think the 10 is going to show some speed here and can potentially get a piece. And if you look at the odds right now, that one's 4th in the odds with the other 3 that you mentioned. So but I did see this one pretty chalky, and the grass can be so.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was interesting. You threw in Poetic Amy. That could be a Patrick's horse. There was motor in the last race. Patrick is known as the Irish bomb killer. I mean, he just brings in horses at long prices. He loves to be the underdog, and he runs very well doing it. So, exactly. So this is an interesting race. And what are we at right now? We're at 73.60.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I think I know what I'm going to do.
All right.
There's like 8 combinations I could play here. Like in terms of this is one of those races where you could just I'm not going to look. I think I'm looking a gift horse in the mouth. I think 3-1 in this 4 is ridiculous. I think it could be like 8-5 very easily. So we're down a little bit money, but I'm going to bring us back. I'm just going to go 5 to win a place in the 4. I just think this horse is I think Tony's really just doing really good. I don't like the one. I like the 1, but I don't like him on the rail. Coming first time out at Woodbine, that's very tough on this turf, which is much more not as the Woodbine. The Gulfstream turf is a little more like a Del Mar, like a highway track. This is a little more deep, So
I hope that graphic doesn't hurt our odds, by the way.
No, I've said this before. I think 2 weeks ago, Sean, we had the exact same situation here at Woodbine. I am a huge fade person when you claim off a Safi.
Yep.
And the ones come in first off a
Yep.
claim from Safi.
Yeah. I love Sully. I might be drinking bourbon, watching the Trusted Province, and listening to Dropkick Murphys, but I'm not drinking any Irish car bombs. Charles asked Sean, what about the 2 after the claim? Villa Olento. Yeah, Vito Armada. Yeah.
Here's the thing about the 2, Sean. The
Yeah.
2 is not a non-winner as a 2. The 2 is a non-winner of 1. And
Right.
the reason that I say that, this horse has never crossed the line in front. It's the only horse in the race that's a true maiden, really, because they won by DQ.
Right. However, I will say this in the 2's defense: if you like Gather so much, the horse just lost to, or technically, beat, or just lost to Gather, and so obviously, so you have to think that this horse would be, if you like the 4, you'd have to at least consider the 2. At 17 to 1, that's tremendous value, considering he almost beat him. So Charles, I would not talk you off the 2. That's Vito. The Vito off the claim is not usually the strongest angle. He's usually likes to get a race into the horses and see what they're doing before he really tries with them. That's my kind of thing with him. But 17 to 1, hey, not a bad price at all. Not a bad price. And thank you. We got 74 people joining us.
All right.
Thank you to everybody tonight for joining us, as always.
And with 7 minutes to go, you want to start talking about what people think of the Travers. Who are you going to pick there? Is there anyone outside of the top 4 that you think can break in for the win? Or even in the money out of the top 4, right? And when I say the top 4, I'm talking Sierra Leone, Fierceness, Torpedo Anna, or who am I missing? Dornoch, right?
Yeah.
Anyone outside of those top 4 you think can break into the top 3, throw them in the comments now, because I think it's pretty cut and dry that it's going to be those 4 making up the top 3.
I do think that Batten Down will definitely benefit from that last race. Even though he's a little bit, green in the stretch, I think he needed that race over Saratoga. I know he was fading a little bit, but he did hold on for 3rd. And I'm just saying, for a fringe player, I think he could definitely benefit going forward. And the fact that Mott puts him back in, after that race, I think he thinks the same way. So I'm just saying, I don't think he's going to win the race. I'm just saying, just from a fringe point, he was right there until the turn, and then halfway down the stretch, got a little tired. But I think that's a race he needed, Okay. So if I was throwing anybody in other than the big 4, that could be an interesting play.
If you're throwing anybody other than the big 4, but let me ask you this: would you make that bet?
That what?
That Batten Down would make the top 3. Would you place a show bet on Batten Down?
Yeah, absolutely.
You would. Okay.
I would. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think he has a chance, and especially too, by the way, what if think of this, right? If Torpedo Anna and Dornoch knock heads in the front, and they're really, I'm just saying, they're just ding donging or whatever, Yeah. He's going to be sitting at least off them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, it's just an interesting. Do I think he's going to win? No, but I think he could definitely be in the tries and the supers. Okay. Plus my boy Junior just finds ways to get in big races. he finds ways to get horses, in big races. So,
Right.
so
That's true. That's true.
so it's an interesting
I'll
race.
tell you, I'll go on record right now. So
Go for it.
I have been fading this horse every
Yeah.
race
Yeah.
in the Derby Trail, in the Derby, in the Belmont, in the Haskell, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm on the door knock train.
Yep. Until someone beats this horse in New York, he's on New York. He's just unbelievable.
I'm on the door knock train.
Yeah.
Hey, I do. When we're done talking with this race, I do have a horse I really like at a price in a race that I think a lot of people might even single. There's a second horse a lot of people like, and I've got a horse that I love in a race that I think actually could seriously win. And Sean's going to know who it is when I say Sean. Ian Wilkes.
Yep. Always have to watch my boy. Yep.
So in the ballerina.
Yep. He's always worth a look. For sure.
And he's really doing well this year. So
yeah. See, Matt, this is the race where, for me, for Sierra Leone, it's put up or shut up. You've had every excuse under the sun to try to. It was the belt. It was this. It was that. It was the paddle. It was whatever. This is where he's got to step up, and if he wins, I mean, he can definitely win. I'm not saying he can't, but he's got to get it done. I think on the Travers Day, he's just running out of excuses. Yeah. He's always there. He's always close. He's always trying. But you know what I'm saying?
It's just his style and whether he can make up the ground, right?
Yeah.
It's all
fierceness. Fierceness. I'm chucking completely.
You're chucking fierceness. Okay.
Completely.
I did it.
Did we answer Rick as far as the undefeated horse? Okay.
Alex did.
Okay.
Alex did. Unmatched wisdom.
Oh yes, I see that.
Yeah.
Obviously not the same class, but but it's there.
Yeah.
And I will say that Corporate Power in that race, the last race they ran in, I think it was the Curlin Stakes.
Yeah.
Closed the ground a little bit in that race. And I think it was 8.5 furlongs. And they're obviously bumping up to 10 furlongs in this race. But Corporate Power, or maybe it was 9, brought it down from like 2.5 lengths at the top of the stretch down to 1 length thereabouts. So if you're looking at Unmatched Wisdom, also look at Corporate Power as well, because he might have enough clothes to beat him in a longer race. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. No, I think this is a fascinating, and I think you guys would agree. What makes this so exciting to me is that really, from a story standpoint, I think Anna and Dornoch could really put a lock, a real grip on the 3-year-old of the year. If either one of them wins. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be awfully tough to knock off the pedestal if they win again.
Yeah, and I'll be the other guy. I can't toss Fierceness. There's no way, because in my opinion, from the races I've seen from Fierceness, when he runs his best, he is better than the other horses out there. If they all run their best, Fierceness wins. If they're all able to run their best race, right?
The only thing I will say, and I said this last time, he needs 7-8 weeks to get that body weight completely back. If you give him 8 weeks, he can beat anybody. If you run him 3-4 weeks later, he looks the same horse in the Preakness. It just look tired and out. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. All
right, we will continue this debate after the race. Sean, give me some volume.
There we go. Yeah, there you go.
Let's do it.
Crank it up. But I love it. I want to talk about it more. Let's go.
The previous race brings Gather to the line. Just behind the start is Spirit Bear.
Let's go 4.
I'm still surprised though that the 1 is 9-5 favorite. I think the 3-1 on the 4 is a huge overlay.
It's Bruno and
Gate number 7 is Poetic Amy. Check off the betting at 8-5 now for Floribunda. Looks lucky to me. He's down to 3-1 or back out to 3-1. Gather at 3-1, and the rest almost double figure odds. But for I Have an Idea, who is 9-1. Super Cop walks up, deeper out. Looks lucky to me. Turning around for Emma Jane.
There's Emma.
And the last will be Deshaun Gaskin. with
The
I Have an
winningest
Idea,
jockey.
who is now at 10-1. Start coming up. I Have an Idea goes in. This field is now all in. Luck on their way. And
Let 'em
as they
out.
break, back to the tail is Spirit Bear. Good start for Kikitsa, came out for the early lead and shot to the rail. Away well, Floribunda. Going forward is Super Cop and looks lucky to me on the outside. And settling handy in the center is Gather, and threading through between runners, Viliolento.
5-2 we get
I
on
Have
the
an
floor.
Idea is trapped a little bit wide. Floribunda got a bit of a dip
take
back
the win
towards
now,
the tail
whatever
there
it
as they
is.
turned out the stretch with Poetic
Ooh,
Amy
one
and
got a
last.
rough
Spirit
trip.
Bear, Kikitsa
Yeah.
running free out
One
in
was
front.
supposed to be
And
on the
Kikitsa
pace.
by 2.5 to
Yeah.
Super
The
Cop.
one and the three
Viliolento
both.
the inside. Looks lucky to me,
And
pushing
would I
up
have
3
the 9
wide.
as well?
One away,
Frazier's
Gather,
running
followed
really
by I
loose
Have an
in this
Idea, who's
floor.
mid-pack. Floribunda's got back on the inside with Poetic Amy, and last 3 away is Spirit Bear. A true
I
tempo
was
being
expecting
set by
1,
Kikitsa,
3,
and
and 10
Kikitsa
to be
shows
on
the
the
way up
pace.
the backstretch by
22
length
and
for 3
4.
quarters. Looks lucky to me. Super
Whoa.
Cop is third, coming up
Oh.
3 wide. I Have an Idea. Viliolento the
And
inside, and
Emma's
splitting horses
chasing.
Gather. A length and a half away. Floribunda's about 6 off the lead or 7, and then came Poetic Amy, and last is Spirit Bear.
And the rest of the
They
field
race
is
along
not far
towards the final
behind.
3/8, and Kikitsa by a length.
47-26.
In second placing, looks lucky to me. Kikitsa goes on. Looks lucky to me in second. They've raced away by 4 or 5 to
Oh,
I
look at
Have an
that.
Idea. Super Cop. And trying to run home from the back
These are
now
my
is
top 2.
Poetic Amy, and
Shit.
Floribunda finally sees daylight and is flying
They're
home
catching
Here
around
up.
the
comes
outside
Frazier
as
now.
they turn.
Yeah.
Looks
Come
lucky
on,
to me,
Frazier.
joining Kikitsa.
Come
They're
on,
On the
catching up.
outside,
Frazier.
I Have
You
an
got the
Idea,
horse
and now
now.
Floribunda
Come
trying
on,
to
keep that
swamp
4
them
up
on the
there.
outside.
Come on,
And
Frazier.
Poetic Amy, I
No
Have an Idea,
excuse.
joined by Floribunda.
Come on,
Gather
Frazier.
up the
No
inside.
excuse here.
Floribunda's gone to
That's
the
a
front
move
with
right
Gather.
there. Holy cow.
Floribunda flicks to the
One.
lead
Oh,
on the
wow.
inside. Gather, and
1-4.
Floribunda going away.
Saheen. I was
Floribunda
gonna do
by a
1-4.
length
Closer.
together. Poetic Amy third.
Yeah.
We
I
get
Have
the
an Idea
place.
fourth, and then
Yeah.
looks lucky
Yeah.
to
But
me.
that's
Whatever
why I
it's worth.
told
Time
you
will
with
come up
Saheen, when
as
Saheen shows up, he
1:36.81.
hasn't been here all day, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's showing up for a mount. He's not coming just to come around the circle.
How about
Almost
my 10
didn't-
there?
Huh?
Out your 10.
How about my 10?
Yeah, I know, huh?
Showed up.
And I had a 4-1-10, and it was just like,
Yeah.
oh.
Frazier gave us the perfect
1-4-7.
ride there, just got beat. It's just simple, you know? You can't argue with a ride like that. He rode to win, just the one was better, you know?
Yeah.
What does that 1-4 pay?
Not much, I'm guessing.
Not much. Okay.
Poetic Amy got
The
third.
unofficial result.
Yeah,
of
look
winner
at
number
that.
1,
See?
Floribunda.
Closers
Second is
coming
four
through.
Okay,
Gather.
so
Third
what
is
you know I was telling
Poetic
you
Amy,
when I
fourth
went with the
10,
4
I
last
Have an
time,
Idea.
right?
1, 4, 7,
Formula,
10, the opening
put
quarter,
Patrick
10+1,
Dixon and
22
Colebrook
and 4,
Farms on your
47
list
and 1 for the
when you're
half,
doing Woodbine.
111 and 2
You have to
for
put
3/4,
those two together. He
124
is
and
the
2 for
master
6/8.
Irish
The
bomb
time,
man.
136,
You know,
81.
They-
Unofficial order.
he just
and
gets
times
up
on
at
the sixth
big
race.
prices, always.
Well, we're getting something here. Getting something.
I was hoping that 4-1-10 held. I was like,
No.
Yeah,
How about that 7, though?
I would have had
yeah.
that.
Poetic Amy. Yep, Patrick. I just messaged Patrick. I said 2 big performances today, bud.
Yeah, nice
know?
work. Nice work.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see
And
that? split
watch
by
that
the
4. Huh?
I was holding my breath. That was a crazy move to split those horses.
It was. No, Frazier did a great job. He just got beat. You can't be mad with. He was trying to win. He just got.
Oh
beat.
yeah. He did everything to get that horse in the right position down the stretch.
Just Saheen was just Saheen. That's the problem.
Yeah, that one stored up its early speed and used it as late speed.
Yeah. One thing I will say just quickly, by the way, if you're a Fiercest fan, you'll love the fact he drew to the outside because he can just go, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can just go.
My biggest question about fierceness, and I agree with what Formula said about when he's on, but I am not sure he's a 1.25 mile horse. That's
Really?
the biggest question for me for fierceness. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also think that the 4 weeks, that he needs 6-7 weeks to be
Right.
that up. When he gets those 6-7 weeks, no one is faster than him, and they cannot beat him.
And you know, the funny thing about this, Sean, which is why I'm surprised that he's even in here. I mean, it's the big race, and I get it. Was when they were actually doing all of the interviews for the Jim Dandy. I mean,
Yeah.
Rapoli actually Rapoli did an interview, and he was actually talking about that, about how Todd told him that this horse just needed more time than a lot of other horses, and they didn't want to run him back quickly, and they turn around and run him back quickly.
Well, you know what I think happened there? I think what's his name got hurt.
Mind frame.
Yeah, and Rapoli became Rapoli and said, "I have to have a horse in the Travers." Yeah, and this is I think this is a dumb decision by Rapoli. I think this is just the ego, and he's putting the wrong horse in.
Through the cycle, it's showing on the
I agree.
board.
I'm still not sure what the thing is with fierceness, so I'm leaving nothing off the table here. But.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's a mystery. I totally get it. I mean,
I agree.
You could look at the AB, but you could also then turn around and you could make an excuse for each one of the losses. You know, so
I agree.
Exactly. Guys, I'm wrapping up here. Good luck the rest of the way out. We will get this.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having. See you guys later.
Thank you, buddy.
Have a great weekend. All right, Sean. And then there were two.
Right. Well, we didn't. Okay, we at least got it, and we got 350 in the middle, so we didn't get killed, which is good.
So I'm sorry, what was the payout?
350.
350, and then we had that for 5.
Yeah, so we didn't get killed. So not great, but you know.
So really, we lost $1.25, so no big deal.
Yeah,
coming right back. Coming right
back. Yep. We're still in the game. Yeah. So let me bring the screen back up here for us.
So, Sean, what do you think of Positano Sunset?
Positano Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, for Ian Wilkes, I like her.
The Ian Wilkes horse in the Ballerina.
Yes, I like her.
I love that horse. I think she's a serious candidate. I know she's been off since June, but you know that she's got some good races. Even that Chicago that she ran at Churchill Downs, she just got beaten by Vava in there. And you know, Vava's going to probably be a huge favorite in here. And people don't realize that Positano Sunset, you know, that if with a little bit of a better trip in the stretch, you know, there it was a little wide and everything. Could have potentially even gotten there. So I think this is a horse to do not count her out. And then the other thing is, I mean, she is working lights out. She's got like 2 bullets on the program, and she is just really working well. And she will need to step up a little bit on the speed figures, but she's close. She's right there. And you know, never to me, don't count out those Wilkes horses, especially when they're at a little bit of a price.
No, not at all. And then Tim, we're going to take a little bit of time here just because we're doing Woodbine. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just going to go over a little bit. Have you looked at the King's Plate at all? Have you?
I haven't, Sean, honestly, but let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take a little look here for people. You know, we're doing Woodbine here. The mile gore, and I've had 2 weeks to look at this thing. So, including looking at the horses themselves, exactly, literally, exactly. So, So I'm going to go through the field here. We got a full field. The 10 horse who scratched because of a steward's medical error, Bedard, is back in for Kevin Attard and Pietro Moran. So that horse will be back in. So there's a full field of 13. The one jokester, Kevin Attard, Al Oling. This horse is a good horse. I just don't think he's quite at this level, but you never know. At a mile and a quarter. The 2, Raffaru, Harold Lenasseur. This horse is still a maiden, but if you like My Boy Prince as the favorite in this race, you have to like Raffaru because he was flying at the end.
Exactly. And this horse has moved forward in both races, Sean, in the maiden and in that plate trial. Gets Munger back up third race. And this horse, even though a maiden, I mean, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and just remember, like Stronach, what did they do with my girl Holy Helena on her third and fourth start? Brought her up to Woodbine, and she ran huge. So, and hard spun, he can get the mile and a quarter. So I think this horse is very live. The 3 is my top pick, Essex Serpent. I think Rodney liked him too. This is Mark Hasse, Patrick Husbands. I asked Patrick, I said, what do you think your horse? He said, I'm smelling money. When he says he's smelling money, and he's been the man up there for, he thinks he's got it. I know that was a mile 16th. There's a mile and a quarter. He did it last year with Paramount Prince. I think he's going to try to go to the lead and see as far as he can go with this horse. And I think this horse will be right there at the end. Caitlin, Her Greatness, Kevin Attard, ran a big race in the Woodbine Oaks. Kin's Concerto, who beat her, absolutely just ran terrible in her last race. Came in like 8th, so that does not flatter me at all. The fact I just think she's a little bit too over her head here.
That one August Bullet though, Sean, that is like lights out. 58-3.
Yeah, exactly. She's fast, but exactly, yeah. Midnight Mascot, Kazushi comes back. And he's come back twice. You know what I'm saying? So one has to answer. I mean, I know we joke about Kazushi, but the fact that he's come back twice to ride this horse, once last Saturday and back to ride him again, says that he thinks he's got a chance. You know what I'm saying? So he could have very easily, after they scratched out, just said, you know what I'm saying? I'm not coming back. He's got a big horse for Mandela on Saturday. If they put it on Saturday, he couldn't have come back. But he is coming back. So this horse, third in the Marine, closing Saheen. I mean, if you like Essex Spirit, this horse and came up for third. Kazushi, you could do a lot worse than that at 10-1. And I think this horse is definitely live as a third Cassie horse.
I agree. And Sean, it's possible that Cassie goes 1-2.
He could go 1-2-3. He really could. He could go 1-2-3. Friendly Ghost is a good horse and really ran a big race. And what I liked about him is that he showed a versatile style. He came from behind in the sprint races and then tried to take the lead going around 2 turns, but he hung in there. He wasn't, so at 30-1, I think he's a long shot, but he was right there with them. You know what I'm saying? So he's not out of the try and super probabilities, no doubt. My Boy Prince, here he is. Here's our big favorite here. He's run. I mean, Saheen's done well. He can't do what he did last race, which was completely miss the break. You are not going to win the plate at a mile and a quarter. I don't even think this is a mile and a quarter horse, to be honest with you. But if he does that again, that break at a mile and a quarter, is just can he win? Absolutely, but he cannot do what he did in the last time. His break from that his race will be over. But definitely a must use and definitely deservingly the favorite. He's done everything right that they've asked him to. I'm trying to beat him though.
I would as well.
Yep. The 8 Pierre, Kevin Attard, Al Olin's second horse. But this horse, I mean, out of the Tappet, out of Arch, I mean, good Lord, does that say a mile and a quarter for you? You know what I'm saying? Preservationist. I mean, look, God, tonalist, all those guys. I mean, this horse screams a mile and a quarter. That David Cohen is coming up again to ride this horse. Was there Saturday and was coming up again. So, and he's very big, familiar and friends with the O'Wallings. I don't think he'd come up if he thought that this horse had no chance. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting that David comes back up. Could be a long shot play there, 20-1. Thor's Cause is a wonderful story for Krista Cole. And man, if this horse ran, the place would be absolutely, tears would be flowing for the place. I just this horse just isn't in that level. Yeah, overhead. Great for Jeffrey Alderson to get, who's a wonderful kid, to get a ride in the plate. I think that's awesome just for him to be in the race. But no, Bedard Pietro does not get the weight in this race because it's the plate, so he does not get the weight. This horse, I mean, ran against Vitality. And and ran very impressively in that race, and also beat Wyoming Bill, Catherine's really big horse. She wishes she had one more race, and Wyoming Bill would be a serious player in this race. But this horse came in second to Vitality, who's on the outside, and so this horse, I'm not saying he's going to have to step up his buyers a lot to beat this group, but not that much. He's always consistent.
But Sean, that's the first thing that stood out. With I'm going down the PPs with you, and I'm kind of just quick glance at some of the things I look at for the first time. And the one thing I notice is this horse is basically improving every time out. And I think the added distance might help him a little bit. So yes,
I think so too. Yeah,
and look at that bullet 46-2. This horse is going to be coming like a freight train at the end. With
and with Pietro. Yep, exactly. No one's better coming from behind than Pietro. He can get a horse moving. So I would not throw him out at all. 11 Roar of the Crowd. If this horse wins, then I just don't know what I'm doing in handicapping.
Right.
Is great for the connections, but this is not the. I mean, I don't know what does Abley try to send him. I mean, that's just, I don't know what he's going to do with them from the outside.
Yeah, he's over his head.
Yep, 12 No More Options. This horse, I can't. I mean, Scat Daddy, obviously, he swung. He was like 8 wide. Interesting that they take the blinkers off. And maybe that will wake him up a little bit, but I just think this horse is out of it. And then the 13 Vitality, here's the other Stronach horse. This horse ran a monster race versus Bedard and Wyoming Bill. And both those horses are very, very good, and he just swamped them. You know what I'm saying? Just really just took them apart. Exactly. And even like last year, at a mile 16th was he ran the futurity weekend, but I think he needed to grow a little bit. He has, and that was a monster race last time. I wouldn't throw this horse out at 20.
Yeah, I mean it's Stronach Stables, and we know that they've got great horses, and that was a really good win last time out. We talked about Bedard being a horse that could move forward, and this horse beat Bedard last out. This is another one that is going to need to step forward, but it is getting better every time out, and with the wind, I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah. So my top picks are the 3 Essex Serpent, number 2 Raffaroo, and my third pick will be Vitality with the long shot pick. I think Midnight Mascot could get right in there. Obviously Prince. I mean, you have to use My Boy Prince in your trifectas and all that stuff, but I'm trying to beat him at a price.
And one thing that you said that I think is true about this horse, and I hadn't really looked at the race, but I'm familiar with this horse. I'm not sure that this is the best distance.
Yep, I'm really questioning that distance exactly. Right. But so yeah, exactly. And let me see here.
All right, we're 10 minutes out here, Sean, and the horses are headed out. So we still got plenty of time, but
yeah. Oh yes, it's your race. So I'm gonna tell you who I like here. All right. So in this race, my top pick was in the 7th race, and I'll read the conditions here. 7th race is claiming 25,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. 3-year-olds. And I am going with an upset here. I am going with my girl, Anam Cara. Sarah Ritchie and Micah Husbands, who has just come back. And he's got the 10, she's getting the 10 pounds. This horse, Sarah bought, ready for this? Look at that, $2,376. She bought this horse for. And she's made 190,000, right? If you look at this horse, she's been on the turf where she really doesn't like it very much. She ran against option 32 1 versus Silk and Dollar, which is just such a tough group. But look what happened last time when she was in claiming 25,000. She came flying with David Moran, and she gets 10 pounds today with Micah. versus this group, which I don't think is like a consistent stellar group. I think the 5 at 11-1 is a tremendous value at 11-1. Second, I like Hey Paula, Churkop, and Moran. Interesting. This group doesn't use this group a lot, but obviously Pietro getting the weight, helping the last time the horse ran at 118, big race on the poly track at Gulfstream, totally different track, but at least he said. And then the 10, Crafty Oaks, as you notice, Emma got off the 7 for Churkup, who she rides for a lot, to get on to Martin Drexler, who she does not ride for a lot, but she's 33% with him. So this horse is definitely worth a chance. So I was 5, 7, and 10.
Well, Sean, we are completely off base on this one because you are 5, 7, and 10, and I am 7, 5, and 10.
Oh, there you go. Love it. Love it.
No, here's the thing. I love the 5 in this race. And I really wanted to pick Anam Cara on top, but I kept going back to the 7, and I watched a couple of races, and I'm like, I get it. The horse has been off since June, and that's the only question. But then I look at the works, and like that 11 August work, 47-4, 7th of 93 that day. I mean, that's a strong work. So if this horse, she runs her best race, I think that, she gets Pietro up. So if she's ready to fire off the bench, then I think she's good. But I absolutely loved your pick in the 5. That's who I had second. I did say I did have the 10 third, and I did, but there's one more horse that I also put, and I clicked third in my DRF, and that is the number 2 Addendum.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So Addendum's a horse here.
Yep.
If you look 2 back at this level, the horse won. So here's the way I see this race shaping. So I started looking at race shape.
Yeah.
If you look to the inside of the 2, Bridge to Nowhere, this is a horse that really gets out of the gate slowly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll go to the back. So Addendum is going to get a good break and wants to be on the lead. Yeah. Then you go all the way to the outside in Crafty Oaks, and Crafty Oaks is going to want to go. So this is one of those races, Shonda, where you've got inside speed and outside speed. So that typically kind of cranks things up a little bit, and it typically pulls the field along. So when you've got inside speed and outside speed, and they're both going from both sides, the horses see that from both sides, and it kind of pulls the field along. So one of 2 things could happen. They could get out there and stay out there, or it could back up a little bit. And if it backs up, the 5 to me is the horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just absolutely, I think that those 2 are going to battle, and I do think that they're going to go out for the speed. And then I think the 5 comes along, the 7 comes along, and those are 2. We know Pietro, he loves to close like a freight train. And this is like I said, the question for me is a layoff, but I really like those horses. So we'll take a look at them here and make our decision. Let us know what you like in the chat here. So let's figure it out and let's go.
Yeah. Alex has got 7 over the 2-4.
Let's bring home some winners.
Yeah. He's got a key box there. Okay.
I'm really surprised that all of a sudden I just noticed the 10 just took some serious money and dropped to 2-1 and as the favorite here.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she jumps off a Churkup, who she rides a lot, that definitely says a lot there,
Right. But, Pietro getting up there is not a bad thing.
No, exactly. Yeah, not at all.
But, so she's ridden, the 10 horse this meet, and with the 7 coming off a layoff, I think that's probably what drove her decision more than anything. She hasn't been on this horse since June. So, but the horse is working lights out. And I think let's take a look here. They're getting ready to show the 7.
Looking good on her toes. Yeah. No bandages. Sophie. Hello, friends, for Maggie LeBlanc. Always tries.
Hello, friends.
For anyone who wants to know why that horse was named, the LeBlancs are a great friend of ours. The Toronto Blue Jays announcer would always start with "Hello, friends," and then and he's actually one of the co-owners with them. So, so he was named after the good friend who does the Blue Jays games.
All right, Sean. Here's the question of the night. You ready?
Yes.
Which is more, the number of people you know at Woodbine or the ones you don't?
Which one is more? Knows. Definitely knows. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Definitely knows. Yeah.
And if he doesn't know them, he gets to know them. Like he goes to Woodbine last week and he talks to our friends up at Assiniboia.
Yeah. I mean it was kind of a funny story. I was walking in the backstretch with Michelle Love. I was going to get there. What do you call it, to the to go see her horses work out, and there's like 19 people like stopped me along the way, said, "Hey, Spin's here." Right. And Kevin Attard was kind of behind us. He goes, "Spin, is there anybody you don't bleep and know?" So no, I've gotten to know that backstretch pretty well. In the front. So there's David Moran, Pietro's dad. He broke his leg and has come back doing well. Great to see. There's Esjuan Flores. Thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. Charles B likes the 8 across here. Very solid price there, Charles, at 10-1. Got Lady Moonshine, Sophia, Ralph Biamonte. They're 25% together too, so solid group. Let me bring the sound back here. Did we do our bet?
Yes, I'm putting it in right now, but let's see here.
Rick Alford likes the 6. Good luck, Rick. 7-1. Nice price, Rick.
So, Sean, we're going to go with a $1 trifecta key box. We're going to key our 5 because the 5 is 12-1, and I think this 5 is in the trifecta. So we're going to key it with the 2, 7, and 10.
Rider Emma Jane Wilson.
And that'll cost you $18 if you're playing along at home for $1. You can do that for 20 cents, if you would prefer to do that, and then that way that'll cost you a whole lot less.
Price play at 22-1 here. Has gone to the inside gate. Moving up is Addendum for Omar Moreno.
Sarah won on Saturday. I actually was in the winner's circle picture with a wonderful up the rail ride on her horse.
The field awaits Crumlin Beast.
She can get back in again. Go get it, Maddie.
Gizmo's BFF.
Dan Witchen, how are you, buddy? 7 with a 2-3-10.
Along Gizmo's BFF.
Sometimes Sarah's horses can drop a little in the wins and numbers sometimes.
Joining the line as Anam Kara is called up.
Nope, she's going the other way. Okay. Dan took the 3 here, win in place, race 7. Good luck, Dan. Marv B's got 10 with the 2-5-7. Try key box.
Let's bring home
a Paula. And Lady Moonshine.
Tail on the 2, yeah.
And the last will be Hello, Friends, as Crafty Oaks has gone up earlier.
We're about to, Colin.
Lady
We're about
Moonshine
to.
steps
about
in
to,
now.
yep.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And Juan Crawford.
Hello, friends.
In the gate and locked up.
Locked up.
Off their race. Crafty Oaks pinged well. So too Hello Friends got out really sharply.
2 and 10. Go to the lead.
Paula is prominent, and as they
Boom.
settle, Lady Moonshine getting back. Coming through fast on the inside is Addendum.
Inside,
It's
outside.
Crafty Oaks, the leader. Joining is Addendum on the inside to go clear by 2 lengths to Hello
Here we
Friends,
go.
who's racing handy with on the inside Crumlin Beast. They've gone away by 3.
All
And then
right,
came
here we
over
go.
on the
Stop the
inside
race.
is Anam
Get
Kara.
the-
Getting back a little bit now, Lady Moonshine. And over on the inside,
where
Hey
we're
Hey
at.
Paula's
Like where
about
we're at.
6 off the lead, now 5 as
Yeah.
they start to bunch. Next to
Five's
last
got the
placing
inside
is
trip,
Cavala.
saving ground.
And still
Yeah.
a long way
Yeah.
back from them. At the back of affairs is
Come
Bridge
on,
to Nowhere,
Micah.
3.5 away.
Ride like
Out
your
in
uncle.
front is still Addendum from Crafty Oaks. Hello, Friends on the outside of Crumlin Beast.
Hello,
Taking off
friends.
around the outside is Lady Moonshine.
Come
Adam
on
Harris
now,
mid-pack.
girl.
Losing a
Come
bit of
on,
ground,
Anna.
Gizmo's BFF, and starting
Let's
a
go,
run up
Micah.
the inside. Hey Hey Paula as they
Get her
come down
going,
the
Micah.
side and trying to get involved here as they come to the
Come on,
final
girl.
quarter is Bridge to
Come
Nowhere
on,
up the
Anna.
rail. And as they turn,
Come on,
Cavala is
Anna.
wide, and they go fanning
Come on,
very
girl.
wide across
Come
the
on,
track,
Anna.
7 or 8
You
deep
can
here.
do it, girl.
Addendum in front of
Come on,
Crumlin
Anna.
Beast, and down the outside finishing on is Anam
Use that
Kara.
weight. Come on,
Trying to
girl.
get home on the inside, Bridge
Come
to
on,
Nowhere.
girl.
Anam Kara
Come on,
coming
Anna.
home really well on
Come
the
on, Anna.
outside. Ranges
Go,
up here
girl.
for Micah
Go.
Husbands. And
Come on,
Anam
7.
Kara's gone to the front from
Come on,
Crumlin
7.
Beast and
Come on,
Addendum, and
Anna.
it's going to be Micah Husbands to the winners list.
Oh.
Anam Kara by a length, Addendum, Crumlin Beast, and
That-
Hey Paula.
That is a
Cavala
killer right
wide,
there because
and
we
overcame
had the
Crafty Oaks
5
at
at
the time.
9 to
Yeah.
1, and she
120,
And look at her.
39.
Did I tell you? Look at
Don't
her
cash a
odds.
ticket.
Look at
We
her
both-
odds. Did I tell you? She always gets late money.
And who's the horse at the end that I told you out of all the others you
Yep.
didn't have that I liked? The 2. You
Yeah,
had them 5 and 2.
I know.
We did not have the 3.
Yeah, my girl wins again.
And then we did have the 7 right behind that
23
one.
and
So
one,
we
I
just
know.
needed
46
7
and
to
2,
get
3
up.
quarters,
Oh, my
111 and 1.
goodness.
The time 124.39.
Yeah,
That's painful.
yeah. I had her across, but
That's painful.
I just bet her across.
The winner is 5. Anam Kara over 2.
Omar
Addendum,
gave a
3
great
Crumlin
ride on
Beast,
that,
and
too.
7. Hey Hey Paula.
Great ride on
5, 2,
that,
3,
too.
7.
I backed it up with the exacta, so I'll cash, but I wanted that try.
Yeah, oh, exactly. Yeah. Oh. Oh. No, but I'm thrilled for Sarah. That's 2
Yeah, no,
wins. That's 2 wins in 2 days, in 3 days. No, 2 days. 2 days. She won on Sunday, and she won. This girl, are you ready for this? She cost $2,000. She's going to go over 200. These are the stories you love, you know?
You know, Sean, we had the 5 with the 2, 7, and 10.
Yeah.
And basically you got that 3 in there, but the horses right behind that are going to be 2, 7, and 10. Other
Good
than
job,
3.
Matt. Matt had the 2-5.
Very nice. Very nice.
Do I even want to look and see what the 5-2 is paying?
So yeah, a 5-2 exactus paying 111 for 2.
Oh, I'm happy with the cross.
Yeah, I've got that for $5, so that'll work.
Yeah, yeah. I had her 5 across. Excuse me. I love this horse. I just fed her mints on Sunday before I left, so maybe
And-
that was
and, you know,
lucky.
That's why I said my question about the 7 was the layoff, and she
Yeah.
wasn't ready.
No, and yes, and especially when you look at this horse's last race at 25,000, she's in the right sandbox. You know.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. 2 back at this rate,
Yeah.
at this level 1.
And she gets 10. And she gets 10. Good job, Matt. Way to go.
Way to go, Matt. Way to go.
Are those not the best silks? Look at that. The cat eyes, like
Love
from
it.
the, you know, I love that. Those are Sarah's silks. She owns this horse. And her exact older sister, November Fog, was also the same, and she's made almost 300,000. So it's remarkable. There's Sarah. Love to see that.
The second win at this campaign is now on the board, and a fourth lifetime success for the Grey Roan filly, Annam Cara. She's a 4-year-old who's by Frack Daddy from Me Love, bred by Michael Byrne in Ontario and trained and raced by Sarah Ritchie. And back in action, Micah Husbands. Didn't take him long to get to the winner's circle. He is the winning rider on Annam Cara.
Good job, girl.
Absolutely.
I would message Sarah, congratulations, but her messenger has been broke for 3 months and she can't get back in to sign in. Yeah, Rick, you had the right idea with the grays.
Yeah, and we did have, we had the 5 keys, so hopefully that helped
did.
somebody in the chat.
Maybe we can exactly get a claim in on the 3. Take the 3 down. Oh,
take the 3 down.
Guess not.
And here's the thing about the 3, Sean. You look at it, it's like
the return
Moran over Moran. It's like, come on, Dad.
Place.
Yeah.
$6.60 to show. The 2 addendum, $5.70 and $4.
Move over, son.
Crumlin, piece 7 even.
Oh wow! So
Exacta,
my ADW $277.50. I'll take that.
$479.65.
Not bad at all.
The Super 5237, $1,611.55.
But that try would have been nice.
1 into 5.
Oh, that would have been huge.
Yeah, we would.
Three
If we'd
first
have
lead
hit
11,
that would have been.
The 7 could have just beaten the 3. Oh my God, that would have been great.
4 numbers, 9, 11, 105, and then 5.
Jen Ochoa.
Jen's here for the finale. Bet on the Ocho.
78.60.
She's here.
Swinger 2-5, 14.80.
Is
3-5,
in the house.
29.55, and 2-3, 17.65.
Jim, we need some luck. We've been
Yeah.
right there. We had the winner there. We had the 2nd place horse, and we had the 4th place horse.
Yes, we were very close.
Just
Yeah.
got beat for a big try right there. Big payout. We've been really close. We're knocking on the door.
Right. We gave it 9-1 cold, ice cold. All right, now we're gonna bring this home. We're gonna bring this one home, though. We're gonna bring this one home. And yep, let me just bring this off for a second here, just so I can, because it's gonna go back to my thing. Then we'll get us back onto the. Hey, Matt, someone check my pulse. Love it, love it. Let me turn off Robert here. Hello, friends.
All right, Sean. So you've got $54 to do something with here.
Love it. We're going to win. We are going to win the last race in style. Let me just bring us back here so that we don't get in trouble here with the.
Real quick refill. I'll be right back, Sean.
Okay. All right. Yep. So let us know who you're. Okay. Sug is ready to win. I love that. Rick Alfred, pick a winner, not your nose. Exactly. Well, I picked the winner. I did pick the winner. We just didn't quite have the right. And I did. But exactly 10. Yeah. Let's kick the door down. Love it. And thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. So love having you here in the cocktail lounge. And we're going right to Woodbine, race 8. And any scratches? No scratches. Nobody scratches the day before the King's Plate.
No.
Not in this lifetime, you don't. Exactly. So there we go. And there we go. Oh, good job, Rich. Nice. Thanks for the tip on the 5 at win place. Wonderful. Nice job, bud.
Good job.
let me read the 8th race here, just the conditions here. And this is 7 furlongs, maiden 7,500, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And we have a full field here tonight. Yes. And let's go get we'll get the oh yeah, let me bring this back up so I can get this up for us here. Yeah. And what are we at right now, my friend?
So you got 54-35.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. This is, and yeah, let me bring this right up here for us. Now I'll bring that right back up. Okay. We got 19 minutes to go. Okay. So
13 horse field, Sean.
Yes, love it. Everybody, this is everybody trying to run before the plate. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and Rick Johnson saying definitely betting Ocho with Jen here. Love it. 8-7-2. So a lot of people must have seen Jen come into the room because the 8 is 7-2. She's moving the needle. What would you like to say? Yeah, exactly. Do you want to do your picks first, my friend, or do you?
Sure. So out of all of the races tonight, Sean, this was my strongest opinion as strongest win candidate. And that's the 3 Magic Modi.
Yeah.
I just think that this horse from Michael Dole is much the best in here. So we've got a maiden 7,500 level. This horse has been running at the 40,000 maiden optional claimer level against much better. Does have a 3rd place finish against Secret Load.
Yeah,
a couple back. Those races started out at 5.5 and has gone 6.5. Now we're stretching out to 7 furlongs. I just think that this horse, this is probably a good level. You notice we go from father to son in the saddle here. So, but I just think that Magic Modi is probably going to sitting here. Here's the great thing about a 13 horse field. I think this horse is much the best, is the favorite, and is 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that.
No.
Even looking at the exacta pools, I was just looking at that, and the exacta probables, the lowest is $28 with the 3 on top.
Yeah.
And but for my second pick, I went to the 5. She's a darling, and not only did I like the 3 on top a lot, I think that exacta is like really strong, strong enough to where it would be like a straight exacta play for me. Ice code 3-5. This is one. Interestingly, Pietro was on this one last time and now gets off to go ride the 3, but Abley was on this horse 2 back. And this is another one. First couple of races look a little rough at this distance, but the horse has been working lately, got a nice bullet work back on the 14th of August. And I just think is well placed here. And with a little bit of improvement moves forward and can definitely be a part of the exacta. For my 3rd horse in here, I went to the 10 horse Beaumont Drive on the outside. This is a horse who is the least experienced in the field. Basically only has 2 races. So could definitely take a step forward here. Another one who's been racing at a much higher level. Didn't like the 40,000 maiden optional claimer, but if you look at a 15,000 level, a couple back with Sophia up, came closing just to get beaten by 3 in that race. Gets Sophia back up here after a couple of races.
Tiller. Yeah, Tiller. Yeah.
Yes. And you know, so I just think that this is another one that could make a move forward and finish here. I mean, there's a lot of horses in here I think you could make a case for, but to me, 3 and 5 were a standout, and I think the 10's another strong one. If I had to add one more in here, it is the Ocho. I actually had the Ocho next with Deshaun Gaskin getting up here. Abley's been riding this one. Doesn't look like a lot, but what I like is, they went to 2 turns last time out, and now they're gonna cut back to the 7 furlongs. I've said it before here on the show. I love the sprint throughout the sprint. They are going to take the blinkers off this time, so I don't want to change too much. So that's why it's more an underneath play for me, but definitely a horse who could figure in your verticals.
Yeah. And again, that's my girl, Sarah Ritchie, who just won the last race at 9-1. She and her partner, Paul Cooper, own this Silver Lasso. And this horse is just, hopped at the break, sandwiched at the break, bumps at the break. This horse cannot get a break.
Finds trouble.
Right, always finds trouble. But the horse is definitely better. Gets Gaskin, gets the weight again, the 5 pounds, so people say, why is it 20-1, 4-1? She gets bet, so that's a very value. And Rick Alford likes the 5 here, maybe exact a 3-5 with 3, 5, and 8. You like the 5 as well, didn't you?
Yes, I had 3, 5, 10, 8.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's an excellent. Exactly. So I think that's a very solid play here.
And I think it's odd to me that the 5 is sitting at 14-1.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
It was a little bit of a, a price play for me, a value play, but I think the horse is definitely a consideration. I get why the 8 and 10, who were my next 2, are 4-1, but I don't think that the 5 should be sitting at 15-1.
Right. Has anyone ever bet on a disgruntled pelican before? Raise your hand if you have bet on a disgruntled pelican before.
You like the 4?
No. I'm just saying if anyone ever bet on a disgruntled pelican before.
I can't say that I have, Sean.
Exactly. I don't think it's going to start here either. Exactly. So yeah, this is an interesting race. Exactly. What is the lowest exactly with the 3?
So the lowest one right now is still the 310. It's been that way the whole time. But get this, Sean. Yeah. Lowest for $2, 28.10.
28.10 for 2.
28.10 for 2. So okay. 14 per dollar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this is
and it just clicked down to 27.50. So 13.75 per dollar.
Okay. So I think Pietro is the best in this race. I really do.
I agree. I thought the 3 was really strong.
I think the 10 just faced way too tough last time.
Yes. And Sophia getting back up is a positive sign after 2 races.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I think I like what we like. I think we should do it. No, can I do? Let me see. Do the numbers here. Let me see here. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, Rick, I think we can do that. After this race, what we'll do is before we check out, we'll give some King's Plate picks. And Sean just talked about that, but we'll make sure we clarify that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You know what? How much would this cost? A $2 try box, 3, 5, 8, 10. How much would that cost?
3, 5, 8, 10. So if it's 4 horses, it should be 24. So 3, 5, 8, and 10. So 48. I'm sorry for $2.
Right. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. That's what we're doing.
All right, folks, you heard it. We're going with a $2 trifecta box. Yep. 3, 5, 8, and 10.
Yep.
We're going to box them up. Hope we get a price on top. We want that 5 as high up as possible.
Yep.
So that, again, that's a $5 wager. You can do it for, $1 for half of that. You could even do it for as little as 20 cents. And that's only for every 20 cents. It's only $4.80.
And to me, and obviously everyone knows I'm biased on Woodbine, but I really do think that separates them, from a lot of tracks. I love the 20 cent. It really gives you a chance to try to get some, to extend.
Hit something and make a little bit, box a few horses. Yes, it opens up the wagering to people that that don't understand as much, don't have a stand, and want to just kind of put some horses together. I like it.
Yep. Here's Laney Grace, Micah. And thank you to everybody joining us tonight. 111 people tonight. Love it.
Make sure before you go, you hit that like button. If you're watching from X, flip on over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of good content this week as we lead up to the big Travers weekend in Saratoga. So make sure you check out some of the videos. We got a Big 5 show. We got a doubling down. Got a full field rundown for the Travers, and Formula's trying to get out by tomorrow capping the card to where he's going to provide a top pick and a value pick for every race on the Saratoga card.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So. There you go. Thank you, Matt, for smashing that like button. So appreciate it.
I still think, Sean, that, I understand it's a 13-horse field, and that definitely helps. But I think 2-1 on the 3 is exceptional value.
Exceptional. I have a cross bet. I'm just saying personally, I have a cross bet on at 2-1. If it goes down to even money, obviously I'm going to cancel it. But at 2-1 right now, that's to me just
Totally agree.
Oh, Sully's got the Uncle Sully Irish Car Bomb of the week exacta box. 13 with 1, 3, 6, 11, 12. Love it. He's shipping off to Boston.
You can see the 3 is a pretty strong pick across the board there.
Dougie likes the 10.
Only Doug is going with the 10, and I can see that. And if it comes in 10-3, we'll cash that. Although a lot of people like that 6. We don't have the 6, but we got that 5 at 13-1. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Sean, did you have the 6 at all? What did you think about that one with Rafi getting up?
Yeah, let me tell you, Rafi. Yeah, I looked at him. Ladies Rum. Yeah, I'm a little shocked. This horse is 12-1, formerly trained by Shanna Lopez, Mikey Mateen. Mikey Mateen, for anybody who knows him, right? What do you call it? He's a very good trainer. He's 8, 9, and 7 with 55, which is solid, very, very solid numbers. He is not known as the first-time trainer win guy. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that likes to get a horse under his belt, kind of see what he can do out there, and then maybe try to get him in the winner's circle picture. So
yeah, he's got 11 starts this meet, and he doesn't have a first time.
Right, that's never been Mike. His dad, famous Tony Mateen, he was a very good trainer. Mike's never been a big win first time with horses. So I usually
I just thought the 7 furlongs might be a little short for this horse. I think the horse wants returns.
That doesn't say that he can't win, but I'm saying that's usually my experience with Mikey is he's trying to see what the horse can do before he lets him run, in a manner, Danny staying close to us.
I like that pick. I think the 3's a solid on top. So good luck with that. If you cash, we cash. So we'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with you, Danny. That's all good winners. Exactly. Six minutes to go. We can kind of do our King's Plate picks here. We got our bet in and everything, So he was asking for our King's picks. We'll kind of go back on them, my friend. Yeah. Let me get it back here. So my top pick was the 3 Essex Serpent for Mark Casse and Patrick. I think this horse is getting better and better with every race. I think Patrick knows he's got a very good horse underneath him. And the honor code AP Indy Medaglia d'Oro, does that not say mile and a quarter or what? So this horse should have no problem with that thing. So the 3 is definitely my pick for Mark Casse. My second pick is Raffaroo for Harold Lenasseur. I think both of Harold Lenaseur's horses, Raffaroo and Vitality, are definitely worth looking at, especially underneath. I think both of them will definitely be coming late, and ironically, they're both Stronach horses. Exactly. So the both scream a mile and a quarter for you, and then my boy Prince, obviously, you have to use in the trifectas. I just don't know if he's a mile and a quarter horse out of Cairo Prince. That was what Mijos was for Centennial Farms. He was great around a mile and 8, but anything longer than that, he just did not like it. So, and my other horse to use as a price is Kazushi, Midnight Mascot, Mark Casse. Kazushi's coming in for the second time in 2 weeks from California. For him to make the trip twice, to me, he's not just coming here as Woody Stevens used to always say of Charlie Whittingham. If that cheap bastard's going halfway across the country, he's not flying in for ice cream, right? So Kazushi's flown twice in to ride this horse, and the fact that he's coming in again speaks volumes. So I think he is a must use.
Yeah. So I haven't spent as much time on this race, but I did go through the PPs and pulled them up as Sean was going through. And I have a way that I do like a quick cap and just looking at things. I really like Essex Serpent in here. Just on first impression, a horse that Sean didn't mention that I would play as like my second pick. I like Caitlin, Her Greatness, the 4 horse in here. I think this is a horse that really could continue to move forward. She's moving forward, and I think that if you look at the distance in here of a mile and a quarter, this horse is going to like the mile and a quarter. The mile and an eighth was something that, even though just missed last time out, this is a horse that could be there. And then so I would play 3 and 4, and then there's a host of horses, and I think just by number order, I think the 2, the 5 are definite horses that you should play in there. And then one more that kind of caught my eye here as a possible underneath play, just from what I see from the running lines here, is the 8 Pierre. I just think that that's a horse for Kevin Attard with David Cohen getting up. This horse is another one, 78, 80, 82, 83, getting better every time out.
Every time.
Has been on the board in every start of her life. So in his life. And I just think that that's another, this is an underneath play for sure. Most likely a 3rd place underneath play, but I really like 3-4 in here.
Yep.
And what I would probably play if I was playing trifectas, I'd probably play a 3-4 exacta, and then I would play a 3 with 4, and then with those horses like 2, 5, 7, and 8 underneath, and then I would swap those last 2. I would play a 3 with the 2, 5, 7, and 8 with the 4.
Yep. Solid. Yep. So there you go. Well, let me see here. Get our screen back up here. There we go. 1 minute to go. Get the screen back up here for us. There we go. And Rick says the 8 looks good on the track.
We'll take that.
Thank you, Rick.
We like the 8. We'll take that at 11-1. I know Jen's in here. She's bringing some Ocho luck. We'll take it.
Yeah, Jen's in here. Yeah, we got the Ocho madness here. Exactly. Yeah. $13 on his toes here. gonna quickly just get that. There's one bug on my system here. I'll bring it right back up momentarily. Thank you again to everybody joining us tonight.
So I was definitely looking here. So let's see, 5:34, I guess, is going to be the Eastern time. That's the scheduled post time for the King's Plate. So I will definitely be home by then watching that one for sure.
Yes. And then now they're going into the gate for the last time before the let me bring us back up here. What's going on here? Get the call up here. Disgruntled Pelican going into the gate. He doesn't look
Here we go.
disgruntled.
Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Last race of the night. Trying
look at that. The disgruntled Pelican is disgruntled.
Drake, disgruntled Pelican, 46 to 1. Long shot Leo on
Imagine
board.
that.
She's a darling, gate 5.
Go, Jen. There we go. 3 with
coming
1,
forward
5,
is
6,
Ladies
8, 10
Rump.
with 1, 5, 6, 8, 10. The super box 3, 5, 6, 8. Love it.
Ladies Rum pulling back. Rafael Hernandez with a double so far tonight. He is on Ladies Rum, who's now at 6 to 1. Brit, 20 to 1 odds behind the gate.
Now, what's
Silver
great
Lasso
for
goes
Woodbine is that they're on the most
Coming
western
forward is
tip
Classic
of the
Glory.
eastern. So they really just get dark
Around
now.
Beaumont Drive, 5 to 1. And Sofia Vives takes Beaumont Drive to the line.
So right now your 3-6
to
is
gate
your
number
favorite
10.
exact at 1850. I like this 3-5 a
Field is
lot
getting
at 30,
closer to a
30
start.
20. So
Blinkers
we'll
are on for
definitely
Tipsy's
take
Empire. Anya Cornificia F will come to gate 12. We have Britt to come up with Lainey Grace. Sahin Savachi has gone in on Tipsy's Empire.
Sahin
Anya
Savachi.
Cornificia F and Deshaun Bino. And Micah Husband's Lainey Grace to the outside gate.
For all those Assiniboia fans, that's the brother of
Lainey
Bino.
Grace turning around to front up.
There's 2 Binos.
And
Rick Johnson, good luck. Dan finished up strong.
Is the last. Sky Chanet's gate 7. Britt.
Good luck, everyone.
Phillies and Mays for the final race. I said
Here
to
we
run,
go.
and they're off. Great start. Lainey Grace came powerfully in front as they break. Showing
Looks like
up
a
is
good
Anya
start.
Cornificia F and Beaumont Drive dropping back behind them after beginning well. Shooting for the lead is the favorite. Goes up to take over. Magic Modi in front and being pressed for the early part by She's a Darling. They go together by a length and a half. Brit on the pace in third, and then came Disgruntled Pelican, who's fourth.
Stop the
A
race.
break of 3 to Sloan Sky on the inside of Ladies Rum from Classic Glory. And they're well strung out. In behind them is Look How Pretty and Tipsy's Empire. Anya Cornificia
those
F's
two
early
run away.
burst has diminished
Let
and
us get a
evaporated
price
to third
underneath.
last. And
Yep.
behind is Lainey Grace being passed by Beaumont Drive. A long last is Silver Lasso. Racing clear.
Oh,
It is
he
still
got a-
Magic Modi and
another
She's a
terrible
Darling.
break.
They are neck and neck by 2.5 lengths to Disgruntled Pelican and Brit. A couple away, Sloan Sky on the inside from Ladies Rum. Behind them, Classic Glory running on.
Where's our
Look How
10?
Pretty the rail, then Tipsy's Empire. Beaumont Drive
Those two
making
run
ground.
away.
The rest
Come
are
on,
well
somebody
back.
come
Anya
with them.
Cornificia
Come on,
F
One of
10.
our
Grace.
horses up.
A long last Silver Lasso. A tug of war up front.
Here comes
It's
the
Magic
10.
Modi and She's a Darling. Magic Modi and neck in front.
Come
About
on, you
3
two.
lengths
Come on,
away,
where's
the
the
others
10
headed by
now?
Disgruntled Pelican. What a battle between these two. Magic Modi in
Come
front.
on, you two.
She's
Now,
a
where's the
Darling
10?
levels. She's a Darling and Magic
Come
Modi
on,
by
10.
4 lengths and neck
Come on,
Get the
10.
10 up for third. Come on,
Get
10.
that 10
And on
up
the
for
inside,
third.
under pressure,
Come on,
Magic
10.
Modi. She's
Get
a
up for
Darling
third.
still there.
Get up for
Beaumont Drive
third.
late.
Come on, 10.
Magic Modi finding. And Magic Modi
Yes.
prevails by
Boom.
3/4.
Yes.
Second, She's a
3, 5,
Darling
10.
from
Only
Beaumont
winners in the-
Drive.
in the
Only
lounge.
winners,
Disgruntled
Sean.
Pelican
Only
next from
winners in
Look
the
How
lounge.
Pretty and
Only winners
Ladies
in the
Rum.
lounge.
125-24.
Only winners in the lounge.
And I
There you go.
hammered the 3-5 exacta as well. So
Yeah, me too.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Good job, everybody. Pietro, John Ross, and the
Sophia.
10. There you go.
Opening quarter was 23 and
Ooh-ha!
2, half a mile,
Yeah.
47, 3/4, 111.
And with the 5 in the
4,
middle and the
7.
6 off, this won't pay back. You know?
125,
Yeah, I mean,
24 for 7
that's what
furlong.
we were saying, Sean. I could not
Yep.
believe that
Is
5 was 13 to 1. I
Magic
saw
me
it as
neither.
I said it right up front. I
Yep.
saw it as
Made
a
no
straight
sense.
ice code
Yep.
exacta 3-5.
Fourth was 7
Made no
Brit,
sense. Yep.
and fifth number 4
Good
Disruptor.
job, Dan.
And the numbers for the jackpot high
Way to go,
five.
Nice
Dan.
job, bud.
That's
3,
the way to
5,
do it. I mean,
10,
it
Maddie.
that's solid to me. And I thought the 5 was a huge overlay at 13 to
Yeah.
1.
Rich Lane. Great job, Bug. Shug. Great job, bud. Love it, folks. Heading into the plate, heading into the Travers with a little. Exactly. Yep. Boy, that 5 almost got him too. Huh? Wow.
He did. And I would have taken that because I boxed him. So just
Yeah,
in
yeah,
case.
exactly.
But that's okay. I mean, that's how we saw it. 3, 5, 10. It's
And
like,
look at
love
this.
it.
Bug, bug, bug.
Hey, gotta love it, right?
We got the
Love to see it. Love to see it. See it.
There we go. Sean, it only takes one.
yep, exactly. Yep. What is a sawbuck?
Let's do it.
$5 bill, right? Hi, Paul. Great to see you, my man. God, what time is it for Paul? It's gonna be
What's
like-
up, Paul?
How you feeling, by the way, Paul? I hope you're feeling better. Ah, love it, Matt. There you go.
And Matt, to answer your question, $10. A $10 bill.
$10. Yep, $10 is called a sawbuck. Yep. There you go. only winners in the. And if you played the super high 5, you got disgruntled Pelican in at 49 to 1.
Worcester Irish in the house. What's up, Worcester?
Worcester. What's up, my man? Keith in the house.
We'll see what this
Worcester,
one
are you
pays.
heading to the
We had
Travers,
try
my
for
man?
$2. So, and the $2 exact is paying $28.70. So we should do all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. What is it, 2070 for a buck, or what is it?
For 2, I'm sorry.
For 2. Okay, no, I didn't know. Okay, yeah. That's 3.5 pays $28.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, great. Okay, great to hear, Paul. By the way, fantastic. You're feeling better.
3-6 went off as the favorite, which just kind of totally
good.
surprised me.
And the
I
6 is
didn't like
out.
the 6 at all.
Alex will be at the Travers. Have a great time, Alex.
The former Magic Modi has been
I'll be
successful
watching at
tonight.
home.
Encourage each other. That was the winner of the race. Magic Modi exited, and Secret
I'll
Load
shut
was
him off here for a
another
little bit here. Michael Doyle, the famous Michael Doyle. This kid is the real deal, folks. This kid is the real deal. And I can guarantee you, when he loses his bug, he will continue to do well. Pietro, I saw him twice this weekend when I was up there. He's heading up tomorrow. Okay. There you go. Have a great time tomorrow, Irish. Absolutely. Always one of my favorite people. But this kid was studying the gate to watch how people were braking, like in the morning. He goes to the gate. He's a true student of the game. See what this pays. Shouldn't be that bad.
No, it won't. I'm waiting to see here.
Great job, Rick Johnson. Way to go.
So the $2 try, Sean, I've got it on my ADW. The $2 try is $303.50.
Wow.
$303.50. And then my exactas, I've got 2 $5 exactas for $71.75 each. So, and I've got the try twice, $303.50, $303.50, $71.75, $71.75. It's like cha-ching.
Ching.
I bet that one pretty heavy because I said it was my strongest opinion of the night.
Yep.
So let's do it. That was like $750.
Yep. You want to add in the our new bankroll there, my friend?
So let me do that. $303.50 there with what we got, and then So from that, we made a wager of 48, so we can add to our bankroll.
Have a
here.
great time tomorrow, Irish. Yeah, who's buying the steak dinner tonight? That's us. After that lovely hit. No, so
There you have it, folks. I mean, it's like it only
More.
takes one. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
So we started out with a bankroll of $100, and based on that hit right there, we finished the night with a bankroll of $309.85. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Only winners in the lounge.
And here's one for Sug. So we're all geniuses after the race. You know what I'm saying? When we all say we should have bet more, we're all geniuses after the race. I mean, I could have bet a $20 trifecta, right? But if it doesn't, if the 7 beats us all, I'm out money. Be happy with what you bet, right? Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? And
every time
we're all geniuses afterwards. You know what I'm saying? But you know exactly. But to everybody, thank you so much for joining us. $100 turned into $309.85, which is fantastic. Paul only got paid $42. Okay, but not that happy, Paul. But yeah, there's that.
Yeah, they have different odds in different books. So.
I knew you were sick. I was just saying that for the. I knew you were joking, Sug, but I was just saying that for the general people. We all wish we bet more when we win. You know what I'm saying? Why did I do this?
No, I wish I'd bet more, and I hit pretty good. So it's
right,
just
exactly,
like
exactly. I was just doing that for the group, Sug. I knew you were joking.
Yes, no, we love taking things and talking about them. That doesn't mean we're picking on you at all. We never do that. We love you guys.
Right, exactly. So to everybody, thank you so much. Yeah, Dan, great money in the 5. Exactly. Rich Lane. Oh, look at that. Beautiful, bud. Great job. Love to see that. Exactly. Thank you to everybody. King's Plate tomorrow. Good luck to everybody. Saturday, huge card of the Travers. Can't wait to watch. And we got a fun back-to-back days in the I think Rick's back in the black. Exactly. So So to everybody, thank you so much for joining 134. We came out a winner, and we will see you on Monday night for Assiniboia, and then back on Thursday for the cocktail lounge, where we'll try to hit again. Thanks,
Have
everybody.
a great night, everyone. We'll see you.